It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Question all the things that you know. Steve likes the weed.
Steve likes the weed.
Tell you about DMT.
The DMT.
Hoosier Sophisticate Show. The Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Hoosiers with the dream, sophisticated blasphemy. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Question all the things that you know. So let's set our minds free for the singularity. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. The Hoosier Sophisticate Show.
How about now? How about now, ladies and gentlemen? Can you, once a week, at least twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, there's going to be a problem with the show. Can you hear me now? Smart Alex? Can you hear me now? Smart Alex?
Why
Yeah.
would the fucking setting in the other... It doesn't make any...
Beautiful, thank you.
I don't know. I tried so hard. It's all...
Yeah, we know you can hear us.
It's all... I was trying so hard and nothing happens ever. Nothing good. Nothing good ever happens for us. We try. Fuck. Oh, well,
Thank you. Hey, guys, what not just a week, Steve-O, but what a year it's been.
It's been
For all these assholes that weren't listening in the beginning, welcome to George Nolan
yeah, you're gonna miss
from
out
Mo
on
Green's
good
Wellness.
shit
If you guys were
you
paying
the
attention, you'd know
volume
that
up.
George was sitting here.
Turn the volume up.
You gotta get it quick, okay? You gotta get it real quick.
Is everybody toasty out there?
I'm post-toasty.
I am post.
Breathe in,
toasties.
breathe out.
Yep. We got some important stuff, I think, to talk about tonight. We definitely have an important message for, 20,000 plus patients to spread to the department, and we're gonna get into that.
Let's jump right
Let's
into it.
just do that,
do that.
right now. Actually, real quick.
You take drugs, Danny?
Every day.
Good. So what's the problem?
All right, guys, we're just having fun with all of the buttons now. George,
This is nice.
yeah, we got a whole thing here. We're gonna try and eventually we're gonna have a real big one so we can replace everybody, and we'll never have these problems again. And Mike won't sabotage the show with his audio buffoonery.
I think I saw him do that.
okay?
Seamless. Seamless as the day is long. I'm crazy, and I just gotta have control
Oh, no sound again.
over everything.
Why is there no sound again?
You can hear us now, though, right?
Hey guys, play the intro. The intro again. I wasn't.
Ross,
yet.
I will send you a copy just for you to
I'll
watch.
give up. If the sound went off again, I will give up.
All right. I do think that you're far quieter than I am on here, which there's a big surprise. Hey, listen, let's talk about some real shit that went down. How much CBD did you feed that man? They want to know.
I drank it all. I drank the whole damn bottle.
That explains.
Can you tell I'm trying to get to the red?
Yes,
With my
you're
voice.
working on it. Mike,
Hey,
Mike, turn him up just a smidge. Not down, babe. Not
This
down.
is the way we need to go, Mike. Mike, pop up.
Okay,
phone.
Jennifer Bear has sound. Let's talk about some.
Hey, pop up your picture. Oh, we can't do that yet.
Well, let's do that when we take the mic over or the mouse over. Hey, you're trying to run the guy through a gauntlet here.
Yes. It's
Hey,
trial by
E4
fire, sink or swim, like the Missouri
plus,
cannabis
X for the
industry.
X.
Jesus Christ.
What happened?
Listen.
There's the
Well,
chaos.
we had big news this week, right?
Chaos in Missouri is like the chaos of this show.
True.
It's slightly less messy.
Yeah, so cultivation licenses were awarded, and I think it really took a lot of people by surprise. So certainly some unfamiliar names on the list, and a lot of people are doing a lot of due diligence to kind of check out and see who's going to be growing cannabis for our friends and family. So it's certainly been interesting.
No doubt.
There was a hearing today. I take it from Sarcoxy Nursery was in Cole County Court. They sued DHSS and Fraker and Director Williams, and I think that there's really a strong case to be had, and we really want to spread a message to any patient out there. At the end of the day, regardless of how things went down and the emotions that everybody had during the aftermath, the most important thing that this program is about is patient access, and that's the department's number one job. And I think that a suit based on the fact that a minimum or a maximum amount of licenses to be approved is unconstitutional, and it really prevents a variety and a price point that's affordable for patients in the Missouri medical marijuana market. So
the language only set a minimum, right?
That's correct. Yeah, they had to approve at least 60. It was based on population in Missouri at that time, and they had to prove at least 60. But there's nothing in the constitutional amendment that says it had to be capped at 60. So, Casey Stark, I see, has been sharing some really good information. Michelle's been at home working hard on a post, and people, please go share that. Everybody needs to contact the Department of Health and Senior Services immediately. I want those fucking phones ringing off the hook. Tag Lendl Fraker in the comments of this. Share it to his page if you guys would. We have a voice here, and we need to demand that there's fair play. So that's what I want to say about that.
Did they give a reason why they're setting a limit on it? Like, did they just say they've interpreted it as minimum and maximum? Because to me, the way that you solve this, rather than shitting on whoever already did win, because you want to pass congratulations to the people that had the best applications.
That's what we do not want to point blame at anybody in this
But
situation.
if you open it up, at the very least, the people who paid $10,000 for an application have an opportunity to at least recoup some of their investment. Maybe they can't compete. Maybe they get bought out. Maybe they have an opportunity to not just have given you $10,000 to not be able to ping an algorithm in a test that a third party company has been doing in other states where they're already legal with their multi-state
That's absolutely
companies.
right. You're seeing these gigantic companies. Let me tell everybody something. They're broke as fuck. Some of the people that got licensed in this state, a lot of these giant companies, they are really, really poor. The Safe Banking Act is not just about allowing cannabis to bank. It's about bailouts.
Oh, shit. Okay.
We need to really kind of look into that too. And we're going to see some of that shit, and we can really vote with our dollars here. And absolutely, we need to have as many licenses as possible. People say, let's not have another Oregon on our hands, and that's ridiculous. Farmers there that can produce marijuana that passes testing and that is of high quality, those guys are starting to make a buck again in a state that's still sitting on 1 million pounds of surplus if it ain't all got shipped back to states like Missouri already.
Right.
So,
no doubt.
Exactly.
There's imaginary lines that you can't cross.
I know. I don't know how it gets
plan.
out of here. That's I stay out of that game. I came back here to be able to do this legally. And so that's what I hope everybody out there, you get carded up. You guys get hooked up with a caregiver that is going to treat you right, somebody that you've known. You don't take on somebody for their first grow. There's been a lot of things, going on with that, and people need to start growing because this may take a while, people.
Now, do we know the process, what it looks like if Sarcoxy, with their lawsuit, how easy it will be for them? Can DHSS just say, okay, another 200, we approve another 200? Do we know what that process looks like? Or is it like, well, in 12 months, we'll see if we can get another 60?
I reached out to Sarcoxy today, and, I think that they received my message, and the number that the DHS has set for what their maximum is so far is arbitrary, and to set any number as a minimum is arbitrary as well. We can't say, anybody that scored less than 1,200 doesn't deserve a license. That's unfair as well, and they have they have a suit on their hands as well. So I think that the only answer here is there's two choices, and that is put a stop to the program, similar to what the suit that's currently in the Missouri court system is asking to do, which, agree with it or not, we're still asking to hold an entire program up for one license, but everybody does need to rally in support for the fact that the only real answer to this situation is approve every qualified applicant that
set a baseline
that applied,
and then everything that hit above that baseline score.
Everyone who filled out the paperwork right.
If they pass their FBI background checks and
their
all
money,
of their corporate structure forms, all that checks go well, give them a fucking license and let's duke it out on the shelf, boys.
That's the deal.
Fuck yeah.
People want to talk about. I'm sorry, I don't want to step on you. Go ahead.
If you got something, because I want to know what Georgie what's a perfect world scenario.
That's it. Free market. It's a black market. Black market.
This is what I'm getting at. People are worried about, a Republican government here in Missouri or whatever. It's the easiest case to make for small government fucking Republicans. You say, hey, we believe in a free market, right? Like, we believe in everybody's opportunity to make their own dollar. There, without a doubt, within a year, there are going to be a ton of cultivation operations that go under, that go under,
Absolutely,
or
100%.
they're just going to get consumed.
Yep.
But doesn't that sound better than saying, hey, thanks for your 10 grand. Thanks for your 10 grand. We're going to give 5% of the market to one company. Like, that's the shit that bothers me. I don't care if the big companies get 3 licenses or whatever. It's fine, whatever. But when that represents 5% of the fucking market,
right,
that's outrageous. Like, there's no reason to put that kind of give that kind of power to any one company.
Okay. What does this mean for dispensaries? Anything? Do we think it's going to be along the same lines as what's going on with cultivation?
I mean, in my opinion, I think that the next 2 license rollouts, particularly in particular the dispensaries, because they were required to be spread out among the congressional districts in the state. We'll see how that goes. And what should have been a fair scoring system, and I hope that it was. I'm not saying that it wasn't by any means.
Do you think there's possibly any tomfoolery? Or because I told Mike, we were having a discussion about it. I go, if I knew the Wise Health Solutions or whatever, I go find out who all their buddies are, find out where they hang out, find whatever we can do to give us an
There's
edge.
some super fucking smart people that I'm sure are watching this show and that are going to see this tonight, and they are doing their due diligence and they're doing that work. I don't have time, unfortunately, but there's a lot of super smart people that are doing it.
I'll give a shout out. I think we're fairly new Facebook friends. Last name's Bowman. Maybe it's Nate
Nathan,
Bowman.
yeah,
Nate Bowman.
Yeah, he's really
he's been just a shout out to him. I think he's making some cannabis content too. He's got a YouTube channel.
for sure.
Yeah, fuck him. We don't talk about him on our show. That's a free plug.
Fuck
Hey,
competitions.
just say you owe me one, kid. You know.
Sounds good.
It's the Craig and Nate Bolin show.
But I want to give him a shout out because he has tracked down about 18 of the
That's awesome.
18
We
of the
talked
people,
about
and he's like, he's still
We're
working
lazy.
on it. Yeah, for
so
sure.
much
Like,
to do.
listen, we've got
he
dick
did.
jokes to tell.
Right.
All right, now go fucking
gotta-
yell at your senators. Now strap in for some dick
We got
jokes.
to do this for 10 minutes.
Hey, I want to acknowledge George's future wife here. Missouri's medical marijuana program is unnecessarily in jeopardy. There's no reason to put a cap on licenses, as there is a minimum written into our Constitution, not a maximum. The only way forward to avoid litigation that will bring our program. You're fucking killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
We just had to go to that.
Yeah, click that. Yeah, you're all good. The only way forward to avoid litigation that will bring our program to an indefinite halt and burden patients who need medicine is to grant licenses to all applicants who meet the minimum requirements set by the state. A free market would allow the best access and quality for patients. What say you, Lyndall Fraker? Hashtag FreeMoMMJ. I love it, man. Guys,
what's
copy
up.
that. Copy
Everybody,
that and post that.
Go read this article about St. Charles pulling cars on the highway over into a tow lot in the middle of the night and seizing very large sums of cash. I think it was less than 100 cars stopped this year. Well over $1 million seized. mostly of Asian or Mexican descent. We are smoking packs from out of state that are full of shit. We need to get this program off the ground ASAP.
That's the whole deal. They're just letting the black market thrive. Now, okay, how does this, what's the next step here? Like, what can we do? What can we do right now as learn to grow? Because I know some people rent, some people,
Yep.
like, what can we do? Is the black market just always going to thrive?
Well,
It's never going to go
Yeah,
away.
the black market's
Look at
gonna be there.
California.
Like-
I mean, California's a perfect.
But the less we need regulation, right, for
Yes,
safe
absolutely,
medicine,
yes.
for safe medicine. But the most bare bones we can make that, the more competitive with the black market you'll be. Like the more cumbersome you make it with taxes and with access. People are like, hey, I've known Reggie for 15 years. He's always had fucking pot for me.
There's
You know what I mean?
so many super talented cultivators and people that are passionate in this state that want to work in this industry that now are never going to get the chance to. And it's really unfortunate. We want to have a program in place here that invites those people to come out and, hone their skills and really put medicine in the market that was grown with, love and passion. So
For sure.
It's unfortunate. You see some of the, some of the large companies that are out there. I shared an article recently about, some really upsetting conditions inside some of these large grows. And, the articles are on Facebook every day or on the news. You're getting to see, exactly what is going on with these larger companies. So I think the first step is to we don't want to bag on anybody, congratulations to everybody that was licensed. Absolutely. I think that if you're a patient in this state or you're passionate about this cause, then you need to reach out, like we said, to the department, share that.
Yeah, copy Michelle's message there. Make that a post.
We need to
Get the
share that to
hashtag
the
going.
department.
No doubt.
Is it safe to assume that
I try to be kind, Craig.
by limiting the amount of licenses is more money for the state to make? Is that...
No, actually, the state would make more money if they approved more licenses. Each one of those grows has to pay $25,000 a year to operate.
No doubt.
They're going to make a fuck ton more money.
So
and we
why limit it?
There's, what? That's a really good question, and I think we, as the people here, should demand some answers.
Okay, well that's
Because I'm not going
that's a
shopping
huge message.
anywhere until I find out. I want to know what the hell's going on.
No doubt.
I want to see some action here. And,
No doubt.
There's lots of investigations, from what I understand, happening around the state, and that stuff kind of needs to continue. And we need to see what happens with this. But ultimately, patients aren't going to get medicine at this rate, and we got to change that. So everybody needs to join hands and sing the same fucking song here.
No doubt. And shout out to the Calicoats for having the balls to stand up and be the
Absolutely.
people,
Somebody
the
needed to
spearhead.
pony up.
Somebody had to, and we know Paul and Wendy.
Yep.
Paul
Wendy.
was a
Absolutely.
fucking great. They're both great. Paul was a great interview. Steve was like,
Firecracker.
Steve and I are both like, or actually,
Super
everybody had
passionate
been
about
telling
this.
us all day, like,
they're like, you better
hey,
mind your
listen,
P's
you're,
and
your guys' shtick, it plays with just about everybody except for probably the doctor.
Yeah.
And then we had Paul in and like kind of started out all the time. I'm like, fuck it, shoot your shot. And like within 20 seconds, Paul's just
getting it.
cutting it up. He's awesome. I know how much they've put into that nursery, that property. And I want to see everybody who
You're a couple $1 million in, you don't want to see that opportunity go away.
What do you think? Yeah, and that's and not just that. Like so many people, that's not just their story. That's so many people buying property
Absolutely.
or renting property or like
I got
figuring out
people
all of that.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
They're in it.
exactly.
I mean, like, what are you going to question their want to?
Yep.
They've got a fucking life savings.
And their business acumen, they
right.
obviously are
Right.
more than qualified to run these businesses.
No doubt.
Exactly. And, in a free market where everybody that qualified for a license is granted one, at the end of the day, we get to, the market decides who gets to stay and who goes. If you can't grow medicine that passes testing, not everybody can.
No doubt.
If you move products out the back door illegally, some people will.
No doubt.
There's things that are going to happen, and there's no reason to leave a pool of applicants for 395 days. Just for instance, let's say somebody won multiple licenses. They don't get operational. That license falls to the next person. They then have to perform their build out. You're talking another 6 to 12 months before they're even up to market. Another 6 to 12 before they're operating at full capacity. We're talking about years of shortages, and and that's no joke.
Unnecessarily.
For no reason. I'm sorry, I get worked up, but for no
How
reason
dare
at
you
all,
curse
man.
on this
What
show,
the
sir.
For
fuck, man?
no fucking reason. It's ridiculous.
No,
Like,
and Missouri is a place where we got guys like you, and when we go to these events see the people like fired up, and Charted fires me up.
it's amazing.
But
Yeah,
we
that's
can
why I
have the
came back
voice.
here.
We
Yep.
can do this
That's
shit.
right.
And I feel like DHSS has been very.
They've
I
been-
feel like
they-
Lyndall Frager's
Absolutely.
like, listen,
I know.
tell me how to do this.
That's the deal. Is I
Tell
thought they
me
were
how to
handling
do
it
this
really
shit.
well all
Yep.
along,
Yep.
and then it's like, okay, so all along they're just marching. They're down in the red zone.
Yeah.
They're down. They're on the 12-yard line,
Yeah.
and they throw
Give
a
it to your
pass
tight
over the
end.
middle, like just straight to the linebacker with giving out 60
Give it to your
fucking.
running
Just
back
fucking
or
run the
tight
ball in the
end.
fucking end zone.
Let's finish this.
Yeah, punch the ball in.
I think
Anyway.
everybody needs to make them aware that there's going to be shortages. I don't know if they've considered that or not, but look at any other states.
Well, we already
Start up.
have way more
Way ahead.
registered patients than.
And now we're trying to add adult use on top of that.
Yeah, I don't even understand what's going on there either.
Let's not get into that. Like,
Well,
I think
I would love for you to come back and for us to be able to talk about that whenever
Absolutely.
because I mean, it seems very we are just learning what this program's going to be. Listen, I want all of us to be able to grow it. I wish that I'm fucking so libertarian. I wish I could have my own F-16. So like as far as like
yes.
as far as limiting how many fucking or who can grow plants, like that to me is comical.
It's pretty asinine.
But
when
it's
you
a
gotta
but
do
it's
it.
a real goddamn thing that we're going through. So like I feel like, all right, well, if we're going to do it, people have lauded our approach with this medical bill. States out west, they're like, holy shit, you guys kind of did this right. You can have
an
up to a
amazing
quarter
home
pound.
grow.
You got a night. You can have home grow. Like it's a fucking sweet setup.
Yep.
Why now are we introducing crony capitalism into this market? Like, not that you're ever going to totally avoid that. Like, okay, great. I'm sure some of these companies are donors to Parsons' campaign. Fine. I get it. I understand the game. Like, I'm not fucking win the game from within the game. I get it. But if you're going to award those, if you're going to like be like, I got you, buddy. I'm going to give you one. Don't do it at the expense of somebody who, they couldn't donate to your campaign because they had fucking their whole life savings tied into this fucking building and growth setup.
None of them guys
like
have ever grown a motherfucking plant.
Right.
They've never lost sleep because they were worried about getting their door kicked in.
no doubt.
That's the game within the game, like you're saying too. And with us being a fucking pseudo media arm of the shit, you being able to get your word out
No doubt.
there to these people, because I don't know. I am so close to the game. I was unsure of what happened. I thought immediately that somehow these big businesses knew some sort of keyword or paid more money or did something to get these licenses. And then from the first comments, and then you start reading deeper that, okay, there was they weighted certain things differently. Like they told people though, right, with the unemployment numbers in a certain area.
That's it. And I really do think, I think that maybe a lot of cultivation applications may or may not have missed that mark. I think maybe in Nate's feed, somebody had actually done the calculations to see how many of the applications and how many awards were actually done in those zones.
Yeah.
We see some areas that are definitely small that got numerous cultivation licenses too, but somebody needs to check all those numbers.
Dude, I on top of patient access and friends that had hopeful investments in becoming a cultivation, we had friends like our buddy Josh. Springfield didn't even get a grow. Springfield's the third largest city by a long shot.
Yeah.
That guy licked my nipple one time and we kissed on the mouth. I'm glad he didn't get one. Okay, I for one am glad he stays away from everything. He needs to move the country.
Where's he at?
Get out of here.
But for Mike is off or low. Okay, turn Steve up a little bit.
No one has cared until now.
He's peeking on this thing, and on here it's.
Okay. All right, don't yell at me, Mike.
You yelled at
Jesus,
him.
you don't fucking yell at me, Mike.
Serious, dude.
I believe you.
I've got you redlining on this little thing over here. You've been redlining this whole time, but right here you're only halfway.
How about
Okay.
now? How about now? No, it's still low.
You know what? I'm not going to sit here and argue for you to turn Steve's mic up. This is my fucking fantasy. This is my fantasy. But you have a guy like Josh who is an incredibly talented Can I just go ahead and do the show? You guys do that? All right. We have I got a buddy like Josh who's an incredibly talented grower whose name is lauded around the state, and he doesn't even. Maybe he was looking forward to a really good career. Now he can't even do that without upping and moving his family or commuting fucking an hour and a half. It is crazy that Springfield didn't end up with a single cultivation. Fucking Springfield's huge, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge.
Yep.
I don't understand why that metropolis would not get a fucking one cultivation license. Like, there's got to be more things at play other than just a fucking Scantron score. There's got to be something that it's got to weigh how it impacts the communities too.
It's my understanding that the department is trying to get the entire scores out to each applicant so they can better gauge where they may or may not have hit the mark with their responses in the application. So I hope that they do that as soon as possible. I think that every applicant should be on the phone to the department tomorrow, maybe not at the same time, but get on there and talk to them. And you guys want to get that in your hands as soon as possible. And, there's certainly appeals process, that can be gone through.
No doubt.
Let's kind of pay attention to see what happens with Sarcoxi's case. So we should probably see something happen here in the next couple days with that. Watch their feed for some post.
That's a good way to. That's a good way
people
to.
in Greene County, absolutely, and all the more reason to approve every qualified applicant.
Yeah. Well, in Greene County, I know of people down. I mean, shit, Nix is just south in Christian County in Ozark. I've been to. That's the other thing is like I don't want to get. It's not that like I expected everybody who I've made acquaintances with at these different, conferences and everything. It's not that I expected all of them to get one, but I expected like one of them to get one. Like
right.
that's what fucks me up is I feel like Steve and I are pretty well connected.
Right.
And a lot of people that have put a ton of work into bringing this program here.
It was super surprising.
Were fucking, robbed of $10,000. I mean, that's as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, and I'm sure that they feel the same way, and I can completely understand that.
Yeah.
It's a tough game to play, absolutely. Man, I really hope that everything is on the up and up, and as I said, I just think that we need lots of licenses here. It needs to be a free market. It needs to be lots of jobs here. People like to smoke weed, and we need to really get in place.
I don't even think they're taking into consideration how much flower is needed for all of the different concentrates and edibles that they're also going to be allowing in the state. Like,
I think
60 grows aren't going to get it.
I think I think I heard or talked to somebody that said that it's one of the dispensaries over there. Or maybe it's the state. Why? They're going to be implementing like a $7,000 purchase limit because there's not enough to go around. Well, and you're talking about being in line for hours at these places.
For
many of these patients
a fucking quarter of weed.
For a fucking quarter of weed.
I don't know. We
the black market thrives in that situation.
It absolutely does, and that's not what we want to continue to invite. Like I said, the seizure rates just in St. Charles. I mean. And that's happening all over the state. And you're seeing, the streets flooded with these inferior products. Let's get some really good products in the hands of these patients. That's tested. I know that there's some testing agencies here that I hold those people of high integrity to me. So I really think that they're going to do a good job. We've got 10 of them in the state. We could probably use 10 more. But we need to approve these licenses.
There's nothing wrong with the way it's built, Amendment 2. We're just not utilizing it to its fullest. Is that what we're...
Well,
absolutely, yes.
I mean, the way it was written so open so that so many patients had access without hiccups, and it was written with minimums and not maximums, and minimums for zip codes with the dispensaries, which, God... I really hope it's spread out a little bit better with the dispensaries while we're trying to figure out this cultivation thing. Yeah. I really don't expect them to approve many more dispensaries than what the number is. Was 192 or something like that. Yeah. But with the grows, I don't see the problem with it. Right. I don't see the problem with letting those dispensaries develop relationships with a small craft grower and
Right.
carry his product or her product. You know, like I don't see why they couldn't do that and buy from these mass producing grows, these bigger companies, and you know.
It's yeah. I mean, it is unfortunate that there's not like a tiered licensing system in Missouri
Yeah.
to where, you know, because no matter what size of garden you utilize in your license, here you got 30,000 square feet of flowering canopy space, but if you only use 5,000, you still have to pay that $25,000 a year
No
operational
doubt.
fee.
So you have to max it out.
I mean, you really should. And 30,000 is a considerable amount of canopy space. That's a lot of cannabis. You could grow a lot in there, and we could have, you know.
When you say canopy space, is that like plants are growing on different levels of the whole thing, or?
It would be a measurement by square footage of how much actual space
Okay.
they're taking up in the floor.
Okay.
Or in the
Yeah,
room
yeah.
or on your tables. Yeah.
What's Mo Green's Wellness's place in all of this, and how do the caregivers come into all this? Because caregiving is going to be a huge aspect of it.
It absolutely is, and you know we want to do everything that we can do to assist caregivers. You know, getting access to patients, helping patients get access to caregivers, working with patients and caregivers who want to cultivate their own medicine.
What's the relationship between, like, if Craig or you are going to be my caregiver,
Right.
what is that documentation between us look like? Anything?
So, I mean, you would at least have to go get your patient certification.
Okay.
And, you know, you're going to have to pay for your cultivation authorization as well.
And you would just have to get a basic caregiver's, or do you have to get like a caregiver's thing with my info on it? You know?
So I wouldn't even necessarily have to be a patient. As long as I would have to apply to be a caregiver on your behalf.
Okay.
You would fill out a patient authorization form. You've already paid the $100 for the cultivation, so the state's satisfied with that. We designate my space as a cultivation area.
Nothing limits you to being a caregiver, correct? Like,
Do
no.
3? How many patients can a caregiver
I believe that it is 2 patients that you can grow for, and then
and themselves?
and the
so
caregiver, if it's a patient, a cultivator also, they could cultivate as well.
how about spaces where caregivers can share a big space?
Absolutely, and I think we're going to see some co-ops start up here.
Because that sounds like a great Missouri boots on the ground
Yeah,
thing. You
absolutely.
Know, like build it up. Like, we don't fucking need anybody else to come in here and tell us how to do shit. Let's do it ourselves.
Been doing it for decades, right? So, you know, I've
How do
had
you fill out a job application?
dude, yeah. Right. You know what? Michelle just had a really good, a good thing that she did for people in December. She had a lot of people contact her, and she did some work on them with their resumes. She wanted to do that for free and just kind of get her foot out the door. But, you know, after the first of the year, if anybody needs help with that, hit her up, talk to her about maybe rates for working on those things with different individuals. Shout out to my boy Jay Wills. I talked to him the other day.
Tree 14?
That's what's up. Tree 14, Canada. Yep.
Okay.
So, we want to get together and do some more classes here in the St. Louis area for sure. I don't know if I've talked to you about this yet, dude, if you're watching, but we need to do a fucking free job fair there, for the attendees. And let's start reaching out to some of the license holders if that's who we're going to be working with. Like,
No doubt.
we need to help get this thing off the ground any way that we can. And those are different things that we're going to, work in.
No doubt.
We're going to figure it out. When these companies come around, we're going to figure out who's shitty, who's doing shitty things. Like, it's a tight-knit group if we stay fucking local and stay here. And, like, I don't want to shun anyone.
No.
I want to get to know them
No
and
doubt.
see that competition that drives one another.
Yep.
I think Missouri is set up for a fucking wild
Oh,
couple
thanks,
years.
Michelle. She's going to do it for January, too. You're a peach.
She is
Free
one of
resume
the
help
fucking
throughout January,
best
too.
She's
ever.
cute.
She's fucking great.
She's awesome.
dude. I don't know how you did that. But
Dude,
well done,
Jesus
Voodoo
Christ, me
man.
neither, bro.
You must grow really good weed.
That's it. Shit. I had to, when I got here and got off the plane, I had to throw all my clothes away.
Josh
Next
Log was
week.
maybe hitting you up, he said.
Yep.
That's my guy. I love Josh, man.
Hell yeah.
We have such a community in Missouri, and I didn't know. I'm in the community. I love everybody, but I'm the first guy to. If my friend's being an asshole, I'm like, hey, buddy, you're kind of the asshole in this situation. Just, I want to let you know. You know what I mean? Like, I got
That's what
your
a good
back.
friend does.
I'll take a punch in the face for you.
Right.
But you're
no,
wrong.
Yes, you're wrong on this one, and you're going to have to hear it from me for the rest of our lives. So I forget even where I was going with that, but the community to see that I didn't want to see that it was butthurt at first, that we were all just kind of like, well, these guys came in and they got all of ours, and we were just the people on Facebook talking about it.
Totally.
Maybe these people weren't on Facebook doing the thing, they weren't coming to the events, who knows? So to really figure out what's going on, get to know these people, like let's sing the same song, man.
No
let's
doubt.
fucking do it, baby.
No doubt.
I'm juiced about the
Michelle
future
says
here.
send your resume to info@mogreenswellness.com.
Excellent.
I'm gonna. You guys carry the show for a minute. I'm gonna send this.
Send your
message.
resume. Hire him. Please hire him.
Yeah, he's got a show with Nate coming
For the
up.
love of Christ, Nate and I have work to do, people.
Oh,
There's
God.
some really great physicians around the state doing, approving lots of patients, and that number's not going to go down. It's going to continue to increase at, what we hope is a dramatic rate, and we're going to do everything we can to ensure that happens. And we want to create a demand in this space that can only be met by lots and lots of licenses, lots of cultivations,
sure.
lots of dispensaries, lots of infused products.
Let's play this out a little bit.
Yeah,
There's
let's do
only
it.
60 cultivation. DHSS learns their lesson, and they say, "Oh, we're gonna do a bunch of dispensaries."
Yep.
Well, now there's only 60 cultivations sites for the dispensaries. I guess the cultivation people are like, "Fuck yeah, that sounds pretty sweet." But also, we're probably looking at a shortage if that happens. So, how quickly can we maneuver this shit? That's always my thing. How quickly can we do this?
So let's say, just for instance, if there's only 60 licenses approved and that's the way it stays. Some of the people that are approved, I would, everybody go check those fucking addresses. Go look at those sites, take a picture, see what's there.
No doubt.
If there's not a building, we're talking months before that thing is up. We're talking months before
Long time.
plants get put in there. 4 to 6 months before a crop is mature.
Talking about a whole nother year
Jesus,
before patients
man.
have medicine.
Yeah, and typically in a situation like that, everybody wants to rush to the shelf, and you're going to put out something that was harvested a week early. It was cured hastily. It's going to be inferior. They're not going to put their best foot forward. We really need to take a look at what Oklahoma's doing. It's, 200,000 patients in its first year. How many cultivators are down there? I don't know. Somebody can check the
They got a
numbers.
pretty wide
It's
open
like
market.
I think it's in the 2,000. There's a shit ton. Regardless,
Yeah.
there is a lot of growers down there.
There's a ton.
I mean, the law is definitely set up differently. Although New Approach did just submit a adult use bill down in Oklahoma too. It just got withdrawn, but we'll see what happens with that. Something everybody should really keep their eye on as well.
Good to know.
But yeah, just a huge market down there. Now they're coming in with following behind with compliance, and this is exactly what the department needs to do. Everybody's, on the other hand, everybody gets approved. What about the people that are fucking around that don't deserve to be here, that are going to be shady, they can't grow good weed, whatever the case may be, they're going to fail. 40% of these businesses fail, I think, statistically. They're going to fail, period.
And then they get
Crop
swallowed
loss.
up by 40. Then they get swallowed up by 40 grow ops, and now instead of having even 60 to spread the market out about, now you've got 40 or
60
30.
run by 37 people, I think. Correct? 37 guys.
Yeah, I think
something like that.
that's
There
what
were
I was
a
told.
few multiple license
Yep.
winners.
Yeah,
so,
there was definitely a spread on the 60, but man, just
Hey,
to prove them all, buddy.
I
That's
had
what
a-
we need to do.
I had a fun thought.
I'm
the
with
other
that.
day.
I am with that.
Fun
100%.
thought experiment. Tried to explain the situation we found ourselves with cannabis to someone who just got to Earth but kind of has a general knowledge of like earthly things, like kind of. So you're like, hey, that weed stuff. The guy comes down and he's like, that weed, it's like a medicine for. Like, yeah, it's great.
He's
For
like,
everything.
it can't kill you.
It works great. It's
Yeah,
good
he's
for
like,
everything.
it agrees with pretty much every human being.
It's so
Yeah.
good. And then he's like, so you guys pretty much use that on the reg? And he's like, well, we made it illegal a long time ago. We were worried. Well, in America, we were worried it was going to make white chicks and want to have sex with. Just undesirables,
Fucking ridiculous.
It was
Our history.
ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. So you're explaining this to them, and they're like, okay, wait. So then you made it illegal for everyone? Yeah, we had to, just to make sure that the monkeys were safe. And then, even better, we started throwing people in cages
Yep.
over it. And they're
Yeah,
like, wait,
for their
that's
whole
so
lives.
good. Yeah, for their entire purpose here on this sphere. And just to think about, and the point we're at now, I almost feel like I'm taking crazy pills, and you're so close to it. I imagine you must sometimes too. That
Ain't that right, Michelle? Yeah, it's
We're
it's
just-
been a tough tough year for sure, man.
The battle we're fighting is so unnecessary, but the most necessary thing ever.
No doubt.
We have to get patients medicine, but also we made the rules a while ago to make sure we're undoing the sins of our forefathers and mothers, and it sometimes just baffles my damn mind that someone in charge can't go, hey, we're not going to throw people in cages for it. You can have as many dispensaries. We're going to regulate it this way, which is kind of funny because I thought about Bradshaw's amendment and how he had this board set up, and he was going to be the czar of the board.
Right.
Well, now I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, well, a perfect situation. If I could pick about 12 or 13 of the people I knew to run the shit, I'd be on board with it. You know, it's kind of a similar deal to what he had going on. So all of these ideas mixing around, we got the power, people.
Yeah, it's hard to make you never make everybody happy, but
exactly
what this is about is supplying medicine to people, and there's really only one way to do that, and that's
grow it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, overregulation kills the market too. I don't think that the department's going to be overburdensome. I've definitely dealt with regulators in other states, and as long as you're doing what you're supposed to, and your fucking cameras are working, and you keep your doors locked, and you don't sell, where you're not supposed to, you're going to get by. And cultivators, there's a lot that goes into making one of those facilities operate the way that it needs to. But there's a lot of people that are talented in this state that are willing to consult with those groups and help make that stuff happen as well. So we really want to work together with as many people as possible to really further this industry. And you're exactly right. Like, everybody here really does have a voice. You guys have an amazing opportunity every time that you click that live button. Right. Exactly.
We try.
And anybody that's out there that...
Although I get more viewers when I'm shitting on the toilet, George. Like, let's not blow this whole fucking production up here. It's not that hard. Steve fucking spends all this time editing.
Not worth it.
He puts on fucking short shorts and it blows everything out of the water. It's like, sell your ass, Steve. I literally sold my ass.
I sold real estate.
You sold real estate on your ass. I'm selling a glance in at water shooting up my ass. All of these things are better viewed than this show.
Sorry about you.
So go out and spread the goddamn word and stop making us your little jesters or your little court jesters.
Please.
You gonna hang out for a bit?
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Hey, should we do voicemails before the commercial break? We got a lot of voicemails to get through.
Yeah.
So why don't we do, Mike, real quick? We're gonna kick it to everybody called the Hoosier Sophisticate voicemail. Keep it up, guys. We love hearing from you. I would love to share some of the voicemails that we've gotten over the last week and a half or so. You guys are wild, and you add a lot of value. So let's go ahead and throw it to voicemail 1 there.
Well, this is Honorable Gabriel A. Adhouse, and I was just calling to lodge a complaint that y'all not giving enough time with Dan Slanger when he on the show. And I think it's important. He's got a great message, and you guys are for openness, and I think he presents that message. And I'm interested in hear more of his thoughts on why the marijuanas and the mushrooms and the acids and the side effects that are causing minorities to have sexual relations with white women. And I would just like to tell you, I think you need to give that Dan Slinger more airtime. This is Gabriel T. Adhouse, and I'm a former youth minister. But y'all have a fine day. I love the show. Get that Dan Slinger on there more. I want to hear more about minorities having sexual relations with white women.
Oh, man, that just got me really hot and moist. It's me, Scotty Coops. I just want to wish every one of you boys a happy holidays or a Merry Christmas, depending on anything. And I will see you, boy sluts, on New Year's Eve. Get ready to have some fun. Have a good show. Love ya. Bye.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
let me in!
Hey everybody, I'm just making this post as a little public service announcement. I recently had a roof leak and I got online and called the hashtag Roof Boys. They showed up and they didn't have a truck. They came out of the woods near my home, which was odd. When they showed up, I'm pretty sure they were children. The little one was aggressive. He was beating on my garage. He was shirtless and had a tattoo that said Bug Life. And the older one didn't have a ladder and said he would climb my roof by getting on the pillar, and he was slapping a spatula around, which I don't know what a spatula does for roofing. So if you want a reputable roofer, I recommend you go to Lifetime Roofing and Renovation, located in Webster Grove. They've been around since 2005, and they're grown men.
Do you take our insurance, and are you cannabis friendly? Yeah. And they all said no. And then at that last phone call, that 8th phone call, I was like, do you know anybody that is? I'm desperate. I've called 7 other people. You're my 8th phone call. Yeah. At this point, I'm crying my eyes out. And this lady just felt bad for me and said, hold on, let me call you back in a few minutes. And they called me back and they said that they would take him, but under a certain amount of conditions. And the main condition was that if they felt that cannabis was not working for him, then they would take him from us and put him in and Child Protective Services, and then they would take the other 2 kids too. Oh, because they were both underage.
Then
and we would be charged with child endangerment.
So they'd go to federal prison.
Yeah, we would go to federal prison. So we said, bring it on.
James Carlton Insurance 314-961-4800. Handsome, amazing, astonishing, astounding, fabulous, incredible, fantastical, phenomenal, prodigious, stupendous, unbelievable, wondrous, divine, fantastical. No, seriously, he's fantastical. You got a house, go on and get it insured. You got a car, you gotta get it insured. You got a life, go on and get it insured. James Carlton Insurance.net. Fantastical, stupendous, fantastic.
Come to privilege, I got good price.
This is one of the best Cubans. I try a Cuban everywhere I go, and this is one of the best damn Cubans I've ever had. And we've got a little white cheddar mac here with a little cracker mac. Life changing, incendiary.
Everywhere I go, I try the Cuban. This time I didn't. I got the
grilled cheese bacon burger.
Look at that thing.
With put some pepper jack on there, some jalapenos. And we got some crinkle fries. And all I can say is, oh baby, grow baby.
As you can see, this was once a delicious plate of coconut scrimps, and I devoured it. And if I had to say, if I had to give a review real quick, I'd say it's an orgasmic feast of the senses.
And I love meat.
Hey guys, it's me, Kippy the Crazy Koala Bear, and I'm here to tell you about James Carlton Insurance.
Kids, quiet down.
It's the best.
Kids, quiet down and listen to Kippy.
Grown-ups need insurance, and Uncle James can help.
Right on.
Grown-ups need insurance. He's got the best reviews on Yelp. Grown-ups need insurance if they want to protect their house.
Yes, sir.
Grown-ups need insurance if they want to properly bury a spouse.
That's a bit morbid.
Grown-ups need insurance if they drive a truck.
Okay.
Grown-ups need insurance just so they don't get...
Whoa, Kippy, you can't...
Well, I was just going to say
cannot.
get in trouble.
Okay, well, it
you
sounded
don't
like you
wanna
were going
get
to
in trouble.
say something else. James Carlton, State Farm Insurance. You can find him online at carltoninsurance.net, or you can call him at 314-961-4800.
That one was me. That one was me. That one was actually me. I was so excited. Georgie Biswell, we love you, buddy. We love you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, sentient, artificial intelligence, to the Hoosier Sophisticate Show.
Regarding the court hearing.
Here we go. Jessica Evans from our friends here. Sarcoxy Nursery's statement regarding court hearing over DHSS's handling of medical marijuana cultivation licenses. Dr. Paul Calicote, retired cardiologist and principal of Sarcoxy Nursery, released the following statement in response to the hearing Monday in Cole County Circuit Court on claims filed against
Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services over its handling of medical marijuana licenses. We appreciate the opportunity to be heard by the court. We proposed a sensible resolution that provides an efficient and transparent process for licensure that citizens can have confidence. It ensures patients also will have access to the high quality,
safe and effective medical marijuana that they need and deserve. Thank you all for your continued support.
That's great. Anything less than approving every qualified cultivation application?
Steve needs to turn his up.
Go ahead.
Anything less than approving every qualified applicant is not sensible. So let's make sure that that's out front. So I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case, Sarcoxy. Thank you very much.
No doubt. Look how cute you are in red, George.
Oh, man.
Look at that teamwork. Thanks for noticing, Hank.
He came here in a green shirt. I told him not to fucking wear a green shirt.
You can't wear green.
So text me ahead of time not to do it.
That's okay. I actually did the same thing last week for our Christmas special. I had a red sweater because I was trying to be Christmassy. So I had a green shirt, and Steve's like, I was like, what do you think of this get-up, dude? It's all fucking Christmassy, right? He's like, yeah, it's great, except it's not going to work with our green screen, dipshit.
There's the man behind the scenes.
Got the man right there.
How y'all doing?
Hey, Mike in the corner. What are you doing up there?
What?
Like the Brady Bunch.
What?
This is amazing. Turn my mic up still.
He's pegging. We're pegged out.
He's got no
Let's go
snare in his
ahead.
headphones.
We're pegged out.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's. I'll bring you up.
Okay, it's on like separate things though. It'll work. It'll all work.
All right, there we go.
Nice.
All right.
They can know that we're into pegging.
All right, guys. We're gonna tell them a little bit. We do streaming picks of the week around here. We let people know what to do with their free time when they're not watching this show. Okay.
Are we still gonna do a streaming pick later on?
We can.
Okay, but we're gonna
can.
give them the year in review though.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's give them the year in review. Let's do top shows and movies. We're gonna give you our top albums too.
Yeah,
of the year.
for sure.
And I mean, I got my top three. 3 is Alone. That show I watched on National Geographic. Where
Okay.
It's like Naked and Afraid, except they're not naked, and these people aren't afraid, but they drop them off in the wilderness.
They're like survivors. These people
see
are.
how long they can fucking survive out there. It's crazy. That was my number 3. The Adam Sandler special is number 2.
It's a great choice.
That made me cry, made me nostalgic. It was everything I wanted it to be. And then I know this movie didn't come out this year, but I do love all of the Star Wars movies that did come out. The culmination of my Star Wars watching and everything, the most exciting film I watched this year, Rogue fucking One.
Yeah, dude, it's a great flick.
What a fucking... And you even go, Rogue One's a good film. And I'm like, don't do that to me.
Yep.
Don't do that to me. I watched it and I was like, after the movie, I was juiced.
It was a legitimate war movie in space.
It was so fucking good.
It was a legitimate war movie in
It
space
was
for
so
sure.
good. Let me...
I don't know what he's doing here, but the mouse is over here. So those are great choices. George, you watch anything on Netflix? Do you even have time? Are you?
Man, not a lot. I think we caught up with Ozark. That's fucking wild. I know
I'm so glad
years
you.
behind,
I know you're
probably,
not
but-
years behind. I mean, they haven't released anything. That's the one show on the Netflix. I got 2 shows that I can't wait for them to come back out with. It's that one and the Umbrella Academy. I'm glad you brought it up because I would almost forgot about it. It fucking it puts you on the edge of your seat.
That's some
like
real
that
shit too, man.
It's pretty fucking accurate.
Yep.
Like the way that it all goes down, it's pretty fucking accurate. That's a great
I used
choice.
to live
Ozark's a
down there.
good
Yep.
show. Fuck
It's
yeah,
crazy.
man. It's all shot in
What'd he
Georgia.
say?
Ozark.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Just caught up on that. It was,
Yeah,
it was
no doubt,
delicious.
dude. It's phenomenal.
One of the scenes in Ozark where they play, I believe it's like one of Beethoven's symphonies during the
Yep.
baptism
Yep.
scene, if you will.
Yep.
That was a scary scene.
One of the most intense.
Yeah.
I was like, don't let him drown.
Yes, yeah, yes,
Don't
yes,
do that.
yes.
I don't like watching that kind of shit, man. But he didn't. Thank goodness.
Spoiler alert,
Yep.
goddammit.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So no, Ozark is definitely one that you have to check out, even especially if you're from this area. I mean, it's
No doubt. It's
absolutely
fun. It's fun. I think it hurts your gut to watch sometimes. Mike, did you have you got some picks for this year? Like
yeah,
what you were
actually,
watching?
I do. I have a couple movies that I watched. The Irishman. It's a really long one.
Dude, I gotta watch it. I gotta
took
check it
me
out.
3 times to watch it. My wife, I think it took her like 6 times.
I mean,
but
it's
all
all
right.
the
I love it,
Goodfellas
babe.
crew, right?
Yeah, actually, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Robert De Niro.
That's like
Those are the main actors. You know, of course,
For
there's
sure.
a bunch of other people in there.
Just awesome mob movies.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Isn't Ray
another
Romano in
one-
it too?
Yes, he was the lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually
Right
played a part that I wasn't used to him playing, you know, because I see him as a funny guy.
Sure.
So another movie was, I just had it and I forgot it. Let's see. What did I say?
You said The Irishman.
The Irishman and I told you earlier. Oh, The Highwaymen. The guys, they were Texas Rangers. And
Okay.
They caught Bonnie and Clyde. And they tell their backstory from back then. You know,
Is it a
the
documentary?
version. No, it's like a little docuseries, miniseries
Okay.
type thing.
Cool.
It's really neat. It's got Woody Harrelson and Kevin Costner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
so,
it on
I
Netflix?
like them. I'm sorry?
Netflix?
Yes.
Okay. I'm into that.
I'm just out of the picture now, so.
I'm way into it. No, that's
all
just
right.
Steve-O here.
No, it's all good. And,
It's all good.
Still good. Go ahead.
Was that it for the Netflix? For me, yes.
Okay, right on. I got, I'll tell you what was not my fucking streaming pick of the year, and it should have been. I should have goddamn been, but it wasn't because they got lazy and compliant and shit on my fucking story. Game of Thrones is not my fucking streaming pick this year, which, listen, the 3-2, it was paying out maybe 6-5 that Game of Thrones was going to be my streaming pick going into 2019. And then they laid that steaming pile of shit on me. fuck you, Game of Thrones.
fuck you, Game
All
of
right,
Thrones.
so
Fuck
there's
you.
that. So it's not that. It's
Game
not,
of Thrones, I was expecting a lot more from them, and it didn't get anything from them.
It was pretty much a kick in my balls.
I hate to be let down.
Dude, it was
paying for
fuck. And I
entertainment.
have such Steve and I, we talk about it all the time. Buy in. Just buy into the story people are telling you. And buddy, I couldn't have been more into it. And I wasn't even painting like what I expected to be on it. I just wanted a little effort. And they just fucking took a shit on fucking 8 years of awesome fucking lore. They just shit all over it. But this is about the shows that we love. And I feel like taking a I'd like to
still
give
trying to
picks
figure it
that
out.
people maybe haven't seen yet. So I'm going to acknowledge that Stranger Things season 3 was fucking awesome. It was so much fun. But I'm not going to that's kind of my obvious pick for sure. And then Love, Death and Robots is my dark horse.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm sorry, not my dark horse. Love, Death and Robots was like my favorite thing that Netflix made this year. And then I'm going to give you a toss-up on a dark horse because it leads into my album of the year.
Okay.
But first and foremost, there's a movie, I think it's a German movie on Netflix, but the way it's shot is awesome. It's called How to Sell Drugs Online, (fast). And it follows this kid in high school who's kind of like this nerdy kid. And he figures out a way to kind of start this website where he sells ecstasy on the internet and becomes like obscenely successful. And it's like it's a fast-paced show. And then they have like, it's very much like, what's the Big Short, where they have like the little cut scenes where they explain shit. It's got the same type of shot where like someone will come in and like, or they'll slow it down and it'll have like Scott Pilgrim style, fucking,
Just watch that on our trip.
it's a blast.
Great movie.
Yeah. How to make drugs or how to sell drugs online
How
fast.
to make drugs.
How to make drugs, man. How to make drugs.
This guy's fucking buck over here.
Where's Daniel Slinger when we need him? And
Fuck
then
that guy.
I just one last shout out because it leads into my album of the year. But probably the coolest thing going on Netflix right now is Sturgill Simpson's Sound and Fury. It's so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool. And since I'm gonna segue right in, that is my #1 album of the year.
It's been on both of my lists.
In a year where the Avett Brothers and Tool each released albums. Tool hasn't released an album since 2006. I've been waiting 13 years for that album, and I fucking loved it. I love Fear Inoculum. It's definitely my second favorite album of the year. Avett Brothers, they don't ever miss for me. And like, I enjoyed the album. Wasn't my favorite album. Even if it was one of their better albums, I would still think Sturgill Simpson made the coolest shit ever this year with Sound and Fury. And then it having an accompanying 48-minute anime music video that's on Netflix takes that shit over the top. Sturgill Simpson, Sound and Fury, that's my fucking pick. It's the fucking jam.
I'm gonna have to check that.
Oh, dude, it's the fucking jam.
All right, I was going to go Sound and Fury 3 before we even talked about any of this stuff, but I switched it to the Avett Brothers. I actually did like their last album. I'm a newer Avett fan, so I think that's why I kind of enjoy that. LSD, it's Labyrinth, Sia, and Diplo. They came out with a CD. It's just a fucking
It's fun, man.
It's the funnest CD.
It's pop music talking about psychedelics too, which is fucking
All
awesome.
their videos are psychedelic. Like, it's fucking cool.
Like, if I got to stomach somebody having 500 million downloads for new music, I at least appreciate that their music videos look like Yellow Submarine.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm fucking with it. At least you're a weirdo, and you're not just some like Barbie doll, fucking vapid Barbie doll.
Totally.
It's cool.
So I love them, but the best album that came out this year was the Lumineers album. We're going to see them in February. It was the fucking best. What a CD. Every song on it is a fucking jam. Democracy, the song Democracy just fucking hits. Oh, sits so close to home to me. It was awesome. I can't wait to go see them this February. Lumineers 3 is the name of the album.
It might be their best album.
Oh, buddy.
I mean, and they've got some good albums,
lyrics,
man. It's really good.
Everything about it is so phenomenal. Check that out if you haven't checked that out yet.
Nice.
Been listening to anything cool?
Not shit, man.
Right on.
All right, so I was Lord Huron. I guess I'm saying that right.
Lord Huron, yeah.
Yeah, so
I love Lord Huron.
So there's a couple albums that he's got out, and I think it's Tracklet? No. Craig, can you help me out here? You remembered it earlier.
Yeah, a Lonesome Dream.
Lonesome Dream,
Hang on
maybe?
a minute, buddy.
I don't know.
I'll help you out, baby.
Yeah, so we
I'll
heard,
help you out,
me and
baby.
my wife heard a couple songs.
Lonesome Dreams.
Lonesome Dreams. That was one of them.
Strange Trails is probably the one that most people know him for.
And
then
heard
there's a
song
new
that
one,
just
Vida Noir.
touched us this year, and I just felt something that I never felt before because I don't listen to this kind of music. You know, I'm usually kind of like you, listening to some Tool. Lumineers was another one. I was jumping on Steve-O's right there. We're going to go see that. Craig, you get your tickets?
Haven't yet, but I will.
No? All right. Well, me and
Probably.
Steve got our tickets. George, you get your tickets?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. Well, we got a little gathering starting, you know.
Check into that, babe.
Yeah. Down at the, where are we going? The pageant? Is it the
No,
pageant?
it's bigger than that. Scott Trade, I would
Scott
think.
Trade Center. That's right.
Trade, big
Yeah,
fellas.
that's right. And that's it for me.
All right. That was...
Right on. Let's go to the chat cam here, see what we got for Lord Huron's great. Hey, guys. What's up, Tracy? You always know when Steve is up to something.
True. Highwayman is awesome. I can point at the comment.
Hey there, Missy. What's up, Scotty?
We got Weatherman Mike coming up. We're gonna
We do.
get more into it with. You were kind of the inspiration. You and George Biswell. I just know so many Georges that are in the weed game.
It's yeah, I think
George
it means
served
translates to
Cerveza,
farmer.
what was that guy?
Somewhere?
Really?
Does it?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Yeah.
OG Georgie weed bags.
St. George slayed dragons.
And those Disney sandwich bags. I think we got some Frozen ones and Toy Story ones right now. It's awesome.
I love it.
That is awesome.
All right, so maybe we hit him with a few more, a little commercial break here. We come back.
I
talk
think-
maybe a little bit more cron.
Yeah, I would love to kind of get into some weed talk, get into the weeds a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's good. But I think we should probably give them a voicemail too before we go to break. You know, that probably is the most. Is the best thing
you
we
can
do.
call our voicemail line at any time. Leave us a message.
We'd love to hear from you guys. There's no way we're way too busy to take your call in real time. But if you just want to leave us a message, check in with the show.
Anything you want.
Anything you want. We've gotten some Taco Bell receipts. Oddly enough.
What's that number again? What's that phone number again?
It's going to be up just 1 second. Oh, we all look great tonight. Thanks, babe.
Oh, nice.
Hey, let's check out these voicemails. What'd you guys think of the new open?
Oh, good afternoon. This is Honorable Gabriel T. House calling. I had previously called this morning. I wanted to this morning praise Dr. Slinger's work and what he's doing for the community and the diversity and openness he brings. And unfortunately today I had some information presented to me and was able to verify that there are actual video footage of what Dr. Slinger has described happens when people use marijuana, mushrooms, and acids, and things of that nature. And it is very available on the internet, and I am thoroughly concerned. I have been monitoring those videos throughout the day for the community and the children. Somebody in the community needs to know what's out there. And I will continue to monitor these videos and these minorities that big, veiny, shiny, throbbing penises, and what they do with them when the marijuana and the acids are used. Once again, I really think Dr. Slinger should know about this. I'm not sure if you can get in touch with him. But if he would like to stop by the first church at a Holy Browbeater, there is service, and afterwards maybe he can speak to some of the youths about the dangers of marijuana and also the mushrooms and acids. And I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you.
Yeah, hi. I was told that this is where I could call for a penis enlargement supplement that was found in psychedelic plants in the Amazon jungle. If you could just call me back, that would be great. My name is Philip. Philip my bunghole.
Hey, this is Bill. I just like watching your show. See you later.
Hey Hoosiers and Hoosierettes, have you ever been to Maplewood? Well, I have. And I went to CBD Canvas Boutique and Dispensary. Oh look, there's the good Dr. Tiffany Jones. She is literally the greatest human being on earth. CBD Canvas Boutique and Dispensary are holistic pioneers in the CBD oil, CBD flower, and hemp marketplace. Canvas Boutique and Dispensary provides the St. Louis and surrounding communities with the highest quality CBD products available, including organic CBD oil cartridges, CBD gummies, CBD tea, and other CBD edibles. People ask us all the time,
where can I get some CBD? My bones hurt.
Well, you know what? Go ahead and check out cbdcanvas.com. They have an amazing website with all the information on there. Hoosier Sophisticate loves CBD Canvas Boutique and Dispensary. Carve it in a tree. Actually, don't. I think that hurts the tree. Get your CBD. Make me feel better.
James Carlton. James Carlton. James Carlton. You gotta get your insurance. Gotta get that State Farm insurance.
You think you found the best insurance agent in the game? Well, I got news for you. I did, and it's James Carlton. State Farm. CarltonInsurance.net. Lifetime Jill. Lifetime Jill. Lifetime Jill.
Let's go good legs. I've been getting storm damage. I've been getting estimates. I've been getting door hangers. I've been getting my dreams shattered around
Every
me.
time I go to Google, I check out reviews. All those 5-star ratings make me wanna go with you. Please, oh Lifetime, please, will you let me be your boo? I just want you to fill me with that precious, precious knowledge. Precious knowledge. Most knowledgeable roofers in the game. They got 5-star reviews. They got 5-star reviews. Yeah.
Hey girl, where you wanna go?
I don't care, I just love you.
Are you hungry? Do you wanna get something to eat?
I don't care, I'm kinda hungry.
Well, what sounds good?
Anything sounds good, you pick.
How about some Mexican?
No, I had that for lunch yesterday.
How about we get some Italian food?
Ew.
Okay, now you're not saying anything and just
I
giving
just
me a
want
look.
something delicious.
What does that even mean?
I want to sit outside.
Applebee's, son?
Applebee's
No,
is
Applebee's.
gross. I'm not
Applebee's is
eating
good.
Applebee's.
I don't know why you're
Applebee's
always
fries
hating on
are
Applebee's.
disgusting.
Applebee's is one of my
They're
favorite darn
gross.
places to go ever.
I'm not eating Applebee's.
I wanna go to Truman's. Let's go to Truman's. You Lord.
Soulard, a place we can all agree upon.
And Mingo was his name. Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Mingo, to tell you about CBD Cannabis Boutique and Dispensary again. Still for my Christmas pictures, what? I sit very still for my Christmas pictures because I got CBD in me. CBD makes me feel better. CBD Cannabis Boutique and Dispensary. Go visit them. Arnold? Go visit them. DePere? Go visit them. Maplewood? Okay. CBD Canvas? Okay. Bye. Little Mingo says bye.
Welcome back, everybody.
That's fantastic.
Mingo was his name-o. He's my favorite thing going. I clicked the wrong one, didn't I? I clicked the wrong
Oh, we were on the whole time.
fucking one. No, we're good.
Why is there a mic too? I don't even understand
What's the
anything
goddamn
that's going
deal?
on.
Why are there so many buttons?
Yeah, I know. There's so many.
There was a time when we used to show up to a goddamn radio station and sit behind a goddamn desk where there was a goddamn producer and a goddamn board op, and we were able to just be us, Steve. We weren't doing the whole goddamn thing.
No, I still had to hook up the computer. I still had to do it.
I had to
Build
hang
it
up
while
the
you fly it.
I had to hang up the banner and do all that.
You did one side
Yeah.
of the banner. He did one side of the banner.
Yeah, it was real hard to Steve a whole lot
Hey,
of
what's the
times.
strain of the year?
Oh, geez. I mean, for me personally, I've been smoking a lot of Sunset Animal. It's,
I never heard of that.
Sour
Sunset
Sunset
Animal?
with animal cookies. Oh, man. It's so gassy.
This is the fun part.
I'll leave you guys some. I mean, we'll burn some of that down, too. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I guess.
Allegedly, one day we'll do that.
Allegedly, we'll do that.
Oh, I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, or I'm going to smoke them, I'm going to leave.
I love this guy.
We're actually doing DMT. Actually, we would never smoke weed down here. Only DMT.
We had a skit with Craig doing a DMT pen, and I had 3 or 4 people go, "Was he really smoking DMT on there?" I'm
Like, yeah, I have
Yes?
fucking children. I'm smoking DMT on the
Live,
green screen.
absolutely
What kind of
not.
fucking poser do you think I am?
Sunset
that's a ridiculous
Animal. Ooh,
question.
Michelle Sanchez says the exact same thing.
Sunset
Okay.
Animal. Okay. I had some that I couldn't find much on Leafly or really on much of anything about. But I had some like banana cream pie that was one of my favorite tasting. It actually tasted like bananas, like on the saliva. Like it tasted, your spit tasted
yeah.
like bananas at the end of it. I'm like,
It was delicious.
but it was like thing is like it was like an 85% indica strain, but it was so fruity, like which is what I typically equate to a more of a sativa dominant blend.
Okay, that reminds me of something. I saw like a meme the other day, and it said, "What portion you grow, or you stop growing and you start trimming, whatever. When your trichomes are either."
Oh, yeah, the
white or amber or all white and amber or all amber. It can change how the
taste profile?
High.
The high.
Oh.
How
Yeah.
like it can affect you as the couch lock or the
Really?
and maybe it might not be so much of the indica sativa difference. What
Mindful Kush. I haven't heard of that one.
Oh,
yet.
no, that was hands down.
I don't like the taste.
The dopest smoke,
I don't like the
dopest
taste.
dope I ever smoked.
Nice.
Like it was my favorite buzz ever.
I like it.
But
I like
it
it.
was so funny because like I was talking to Steve. I'm like, dude, what'd you think of that? Because
Boozy.
I didn't know if I was on an island or not. And Steve's like, dude, not for
got
me
very
at
irritated.
all. And
I
I'm
haven't heard of
like,
that one. Yeah.
I talked to like 3
I
or
couldn't
4
find it
people, and
either.
they were like, dude, that was if that ever comes around again, grab the rest. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. This was gifted to me
Yes.
in the District of Columbia, and that's where I tried it.
Indica versus sativa is a myth. Wow.
I'm
love
with it.
I love
So you gotta toss some science
I would
down.
agree
Yeah,
with
that's yeah.
I'm
I
with it.
love knowing that because I've always had different effects too with different strains and even different effects than other people got.
Yeah.
Because of Craig, he did, and it didn't smell good to me. Smelled great to him.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I
into
thought
more
the
like,
taste wasn't that good. It was a very earthy, like it tasted.
I'm more into like cheesy, earthy, gassy
Yes.
buzz, and I think Steve's more
Okay.
into the
piney, fruity,
citrusy.
Yes.
You like OGs and you like some
Yes.
anything that's called.
I
bourbon,
used to
probably.
love the
Yeah.
really dark buds too.
Jack
like
hair.
Yeah.
Yes, the really dark green ones with dark red hairs.
Okay.
But now I find myself if there's a bright green bud with
Just
some
look like it's
bright
dipped in
hairs-
sugar, yeah.
Yes, with really white dust, keef, trichomes, all of that. That is my fucking jam.
So you
dude.
looking for something that's gonna complement your very energetic personality.
Sure.
Yes.
So
that's what's funny is I would think opposite. Like
Yeah.
I would think because Steve's higher energy than me and I'm a little more like, you would think that I'd be okay. I'm going to try to use sativas to kind of bring me up, and he'd think he'd go the other way. But really, I didn't mean sativas, but I would try those super, fruity kind of speedier buds, and they honestly just give me more anxiety than anything. And so that was what I loved about that Kush was like it didn't make me sleepy, but it was really stony. Like I got to actually sit and enjoy a movie stoned without just like passing out
and
or
they
without
probably,
feeling like I had to do something
whoever
else.
grew that probably let it actually mature really well. They were probably, all cloudy, 10% or more amber, maybe even more.
Yeah.
The longer you leave it on there. And Michelle's really into this. I think some of those things will convert over to some CBG. Possibly, it makes you tired as well. So, the longer that you leave it on the plant, the more mature it's going to get. Obviously, the trichomes are going to get darker the longer that you leave it there. And you're going to have more of a sleepy couch lock effect in your plant.
See, that's the good shit right there, guys.
The older I get, and the more painful life is on a daily basis, like that's the shit I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I need to be able to continue doing what I need to do and
Yeah.
have some pain relief. So
Cashman says, I just want something that I can for sure know it's going to curb my anxiety.
Right.
And not have my Xanax on standby because of panic attacks. The very thing I'm trying to get away from. Any advice, gentlemen?
Okay, yeah, and as Michelle mentioned, indica sativa really is a myth. They're classifying things now as a broadleaf variety or a what the hell is the opposite of broad? Just
Skinny?
Skinny. Shit. Very thin, serrated leaves instead of fat leaves on the plant. So, typically those plants are also going to be squatter with the fat leaves, and the other ones are going to grow a little bit taller. Whenever you flip those into flower, those ones double in size, even if not triple, they get really, really big. That's because I think a lot of those strains, the heritage of those is closer to the equator. They're used to a longer flowering time. Sativas, a lot of haze genetics, for instance. I grow a ghost strain haze. A lot of people are familiar with that. That thing takes 11, 12 weeks to flower versus, something like this Kush strain that's, grown, originally came from a very different place on the earth. And shorter flowering seasons, it grows short and squat and gas tank buds, just small, finishes quick for you. So those are really more ideal for production strains. So almost everything that's on the market now is a hybrid, unless you find somebody that's got some seeds that's been sent in a can for a really long time, stored properly. You get those things cracked, but it's like a hybrid thing. And as you said, the different effects from one strain to the other, terpenes play into that too. We know that THC is kind of the car, CBD is kind of the car, and the terpenes are the roadway that's kind of going to decide how it's going to make us feel. So she's been putting on some terpene presentations at our booths. Typically, we'll sit down with an individual. They'll smell different sets of terpenes. We'll mark which one they liked or which one they didn't like, and then we'll make some strange suggestions to them. And 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, I smoked that before and I fucking loved it. It's like, these are the kind of terpenes that you're looking for.
Yeah.
These are the smells associated with them. This is what you really want to be geared towards. That's what sucks about dispensaries in a no open container state such as Washington. You can't go into a dispensary and smell that flower in the package. You got to go take it outside and open it.
So you have to buy it. You can't even take it for
you
fucking
can't buy
test
it
smell.
yet in there yet.
Can't even smell it.
No, he's Washington State.
Oh, okay, Washington.
Yeah.
Well, you can't smell it?
Nope.
Yeah,
it's
fuck
What are they,
that.
fucking Dewey
Prepackaged
Cox?
dispo.
What is
Fucking
fucking-
bullshit.
You don't want no part of this shit.
Nope. I gotta
my
smell
nose
my
blind.
herb. Your nose knows, man. And if it smells good to you, you're probably gonna like it. If it doesn't smell good, you're probably not gonna like it. So
That's what I've always kind of gone off of.
yes, broad versus narrow. Thank you, dear.
What my nose and taste buds really want from me. That's what it's always been. That's why I thought it was interesting. The Mindful Kush, I loved the stone
Oh, it was like
from
it was fucking.
Yes.
Because I did a morning, an afternoon, and a night, and then studied the effects from it. And the nighttime, usually you have an entire bowl. I have 2 little rippers, and I was like, well, okay, cool, I'm good. And I forgot about that it was there. And
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, cool.
Dude,
And
it was a head
great.
banger.
Okay.
But at the same time, like I could read a book and not fall asleep
Totally.
4 pages in. Like
Totally.
I was fucking mindful. Like whatever that is, I don't know if I call it placebo effect. I
Adequately
don't know.
named. Well,
Yeah, I don't know what it
I'm gonna
was,
certainly
but
check
like
that one out.
I don't know, man. If you can find the genetics on it, it was hands down like my favorite fucking.
We'll put the word out on it. Okay, yeah, for sure.
It was my favorite pot I smoked this year for sure.
The White Widows and the
Yeah.
White Rhinos and that have always kind of been my faves. Are those kind of going the wayside? Are there so many cross genetics that it's constantly like, oh, I mix this one and this one, and I mix this one and this one, and I mix this? Is it just so quick that it's hard to find those, like those name brand staples?
Yeah. It really is. A lot of those things are kind of gone. I mean, there are certainly some companies out there that do, tissue culture regeneration for genetics sometimes too. White Rhino, I actually got some that's been grown in Missouri for over 2 decades. The seeds that I have are about 10 years old. I got some in testing right now.
Cool.
And it smells like fucking mesquite. It's like
smells
28 days into flower.
mesquite?
It smells like goddamn barbecue. It's so weird, dude.
Man, I want that.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Barbecue weed, like what is that?
If you really liked that strain,
I did.
would
In
love
Amsterdam,
to-
I smoked some, and it was fucking phenomenal.
Well, and if you really liked it, then I'd say, if this is really true White Rhino, then you're gonna know whether it was exactly close to, because you're gonna
awesome.
that's a really big part of your memory is your smell and your
Yeah,
taste.
no doubt.
And I was
you'll
on
know.
vacation.
Yep.
Like
No
when I
doubt.
used to be able to go to my happy place and just remember being like on the street of Amsterdam, being like, just go to your.
I love that
happy
when you
place,
smoke
man.
something, you're like, I just remember tasting this one time.
One of the greatest moments of my life. I'm at a friend's house. I'm probably in 6th grade, and we're rummaging through the garage to find like a hockey stick or something. We needed something. Well, a lot of people had beer fridges and beer sitting next to their beer fridge in the garage.
Yeah.
So this kid knocks over a thing of Busch beer, and one of them breaks open and. Psst, and I wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, oh, you idiot. I'm looking through the other shit, and I go, Dad? Like, my fucking dad. Like, give me big hairy
That's great.
mustache kisses goodnight with a little bush strap. I'm like, oh shit, I just want my dad to hold me.
Those familiar smell.
Yeah, exactly. So it's cool. Hopefully my
That
kids
shit
are
is
like,
hilarious.
White Rhino? It reminds me of Papa.
Yeah.
That's
Daddy.
fucking great. I
That
would
is
love that
fucking
shit.
awesome. Durban always makes me sneeze, but I love the high. That's what
Awesome.
Casey
Yeah.
Weed blog. I
Hells
think
yeah.
Craig Morton said peanut butter breath was his favorite.
Okay.
I went into a head shop, I guess is what they're still calling them these days.
Yeah.
But all of the dab rigs and I'm still I smoke dabs.
Okay. Yeah.
But the whole rig where you heat it from underneath, our guy put a thing on our sophisticated Hoosiers page where
A cold start dab.
Yeah, what's a cold start? What's going on with
You
all
just
this
get a
shit?
lot more out of your wax. Like you're not.
So you don't
instantly
heat it up and then
vaporizing the
add
whole
your
thing.
wax.
No,
Your
you
wax
put it
is
in the
there
bottom of like
cold.
a banger.
And what's the thing that they're spinning around on top? It's a little
Okay.
glass piece that goes. It's not touching anything, is it?
It's a carb. No, it's not. It's just
It just
to
lets
grow
air in
airflow.
just a little bit to push.
What's
air
it
through.
doing, guy?
That's it.
Besides charging me an extra $7 in the open market.
Yep.
Well, you don't want to put your fucking thumb
almost
over
off
a
the cap.
You
Yeah.
want to make a bet? Oh!
He's like, no, you're right, I don't. And he pulls out fucking little finger symbols.
Ting, ting, ting. Yeah, so I remember doing a dab for the first time a few years ago and getting the giggles all over again. Like it was my first time getting high.
I tripped my fucking nuts off the first time I hit a
Tripped
dab.
your nuts off.
I think the first time I took a dab was at the 2015 Cup in Denver, and I was definitely floating like I had to go set the fuck down.
It's like I was seeing somebody joking about like hitting your friend with their first dab, and
Yeah,
like
I know.
it's funny because I survived, but I remember the like taking my first like ridiculous, like it was a ridiculously large dab. Dude, I was fucking I'm not quite 30 years old yet. This is probably 5-6 years ago, and fucking I called my father for a ride home. Because I
Smart
was
man.
so fucking stoned, dude.
Yeah, smart man.
I was at a friend's house hanging out. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm like, Dad, I know I sound like a fucking dipshit right now, but I've never, like, I really need you to come pick me up. It was like fucking Mother's Day. I was going to build some fucking...
Best over 8
I was going to build some...
Best over 8 hours.
I was gonna put fucking one of those. I was gonna make a garden box out of pallets for my mom. I'm like, that's no big deal. If I can staple a little fucking cloth on the bottom of it, fill it with some soil, throw some plants in there, it's gonna be all good. I got so fucking high. I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, fuck. I was expecting to only be high for like an hour or two. Dude, at like hour 3, I'm still getting high. At hour 4,
like the first time I
I'm
took
still...
acid, they told me it was gonna last 4 hours. You fucking liar!
3 times that, yeah, you fucker. But no, yeah, like I see people smoke dabs now, and like I have fucking
Those guys
I
do
have
those
I have
ones.
dab PTSD, dude. I
They
look
do
at them,
the-
I'm stoned watching you take dabs.
They do the whole like, "Is it 10 grams?"
Oh, that shit cracks me up. That
That's gonna
shit
be me
cracks
one
me
day, I
up.
hope.
That shit's akin to eating Tide Pods to me. It's just,
It's no doubt. Like, what are you trying
Well,
to
I
be the
guess-
first person? Like, are you trying to hurt yourself? I don't understand.
I don't know. I mean, I've been using cannabis for 20
kind
plus
of-
years. Like, my tolerance is so. It's just, I learned a long time ago I don't need to smoke a quarter of weed a day. I mean, some people
Totally,
do.
man.
Depending on your ailment, you absolutely may need a lot of medicine. But
Time to cancel the 10-gram dab segment.
Dab challenge.
Me, akin to Tide Pods.
If I had a giant slab.
I got one of those too.
You got a big slab, let's do it. But
He did.
I'm on a budget. So.
Yeah, well,
I love the people of weed. and
I'm
I
just
love
not
this
a
part of
big
weed.
fan of concentrates in general. I get their place. I understand why people use
Cooking
them.
with concentrates, is it better?
I don't know. Every time I've ever eaten anything that was made with fucking fecal oil or something,
Yeah,
or
the
distillate, like
reclaim.
I'm fucking stoned for the rest of my life. I ate a cookie in July. I'm still
That was
high
one
off
of my
of.
favorite things of all time. It's like, hey, did you eat that whole thing? What do you think?
Yeah, I had a similar
And
experience.
brother.
I had a similar experience with psilocybin tea one time. Jesus Christ! It's like, I can't just try a little nibble of the cookie. That's very good baking. Good job. No, I was like, just down the gullet like I'm fucking Garfield.
Yeah.
Everything that I take is like lasagna, and I'm fucking Garfield. Like I can't just taste it. I'm like,
Here we go.
oh, whole cookie? Fuck,
John
get
the
it
Hat.
together, you fat fuck.
And John's all pissed off because of fucking.
I've been making some medals, and I keep saying they need to not make it something that you want to eat 12 of because fuck.
Oh, I get that
You
too.
get so high.
Oh, no doubt. Some of them taste so good now. It's like, oh, that was wrong. And like, I got it in a Nerd's rope. I'm like,
I've heard about them motherfuckers.
Dude, they're
like,
so
a
good.
Nerd's
I had
rope.
someone share a
Oh
little
my
bit
God.
with me, and I was like,
Get that Nerd's rope
I was
away
like,
from me.
why, I can take medicine like this.
I know.
Did these motherfuckers know if they would have done this with amoxicillin back in? They would make a lot of parents' lives easier.
Yeah.
back in
I
the
still
days.
get my amoxicillin in
In Nerd Rope? No, I get mine in Milky Way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like with all of the
Michelle says George eats about 6 edibles at a time.
Hey, let's ask Mike. Mike,
And
you
it's
guys-
hung- and it's hung over in the AM.
Your top strains of the year, big boy.
I'm gonna say I like the Platinum OG and the Reverse Cowgirl.
Oh,
Reverse
yeah. I
Cowgirl.
had both of those. Reverse Cowgirl is super gassy, man.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it.
Really gassy. If I
One
can.
was dark, one was a little light. I mean, they both had two different experiences for me, and I enjoyed them both.
Dude, my
Was this a
briefcase.
three-way or was this weed you smoked?
My briefcase, I had like a
I could
little
not
bit in
find
the
the
front
strain
pocket of
anywhere.
it.
Anywhere I looked, it was like porn related, obviously.
Oh yeah, I know. I did.
Oh, for the strain? Yeah,
Reverse
they said
Cowgirl.
it's one of its plants is just a cowboy kush, and I can't remember what it was split with.
Okay.
Maybe Girl
Cowboy
Scout
Bush.
cookies. Maybe Girl Scout cookies. I can't remember. I don't know.
Cowboy Kush and Girl Scout.
It was super
Bush.
gassy. I know I had like a little bit of it in my briefcase, and just for like for the ride home. And then I took it out, and then for the rest of the week, my fucking briefcase just reeked of reefer. Nice. Just reeked of it.
Hell yes.
Yeah, no, with like all the paperwork they're making us do in the weed game now, I'm like, can't we just smoke it and have fun like we used to? God damn, guys.
You're taking the shine off of it,
Yeah,
guys.
you are. It's a little bit, but we got to do what we got to do. I'm so thankful that you joined us tonight because now we know what we got to do. I wanted to be able to hear from someone like you, someone that I trusted, someone in the community that can kind of help me wrap my head around what's going on in Missouri because I care so much about the patience. I want to smoke so bad, and I forget that. Oh no, there are people who need it, dickhead. Like,
Yeah.
I always tend to go back to this selfish place where I think, I want to go to the dispensary and I want to do this, and it's like, buddy, there's people who are far removed from your little bullshit that actually need it. And that's the main thing. Everyone needs to keep coming back to that. Fight
Fuck
the
yes,
fight
brother.
so we can get the fucking patients the medicine that they need to live.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to be, close to a couple families that definitely, have those kind of needs, and it's always really humbling to get to see them each and every time because, that's what this really is all about.
For sure.
No doubt, dude.
Like, check out Aiden's Alliance. I know that's one that I just
Great.
I can't go a couple days without looking at my own kids. My kid had a virus,
Fever. Yeah.
and it breaks you for a couple days, man.
Yeah.
Put your fucking heart out there. People go through some shit, man. Let's.
And I'll tell you what, Ashley's a Viking, man. She not only does she not. I
She's
mean,
Xena.
you never heard her complain about anything.
Yep.
She's
Only about
always
you.
smiling.
She always only says.
She received
like,
me
"Can
quite
you get-"
nicely when I was in Springfield last
If
week.
you get Craig away from me,
Yeah, get that fucking guy out of here. Just get him right out of here.
We love Aiden's Alliance.
We love. There's a lot of great
Yes, there are.
projects going on. I know Chris Wolfenbarger's got a veterans. Gosh darn it, I don't have it in front of me here.
It's Exceptional Warriors.
No.
Few, yeah.
No, that was the one that he
Foundation for
worked with,
Exceptional
but
Warriors. He's got something else going on.
he's got another thing going.
I think my daughter's due at the end of February. I think we're hoping for. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
congratulations,
Thank you.
little Nora Bella's on the way.
Nora Bella. I can't wait to meet her. We're gonna release a video subscription series next year.
Good.
The first quarter, it's going to have some exclusive content, some exclusive deals for people that want to get signed up, and we're going to teach everybody how to grow some really good cannabis at home.
That's going to be Mo Green's Wellness?
Yep.
You guys, check out mogreenswellness.com.
A funny story.
They're awesome.
They threw me for a little bit of a loop when you guys announced that you named your baby on Facebook.
Yes.
And I assumed, I'm like,
The baby was born?
I assumed the baby was born.
Oh man, yeah.
And so I saw
that
Michelle.
post was very confusing.
I saw
Our
Michelle
apologies.
in person, and she looks good. She just always is. She's a beautiful person.
No
Like,
doubt.
She really
Thank
is.
you, yeah.
And so I go up to her and I'm like, "Hey, congrats!" And she's like, "I know." She's so nice. She's like, "What?"
Yeah.
But cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's like, "We
And
just
I'm
got
like-
started."
Yeah.
And then I kind of am like, "Oh, they just named the baby." I'm like, "I'm such an idiot, dude." She's
were
such
excited.
a sweet person. She's like, "Oh yeah, cool. Congrats."
She wasn't gonna. I would have made you feel like an idiot.
I know, I am an idiot, dude. It was at the art fair thing, so I'm just busting through the middle.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"Hey,
nice.
you!"
Hey, you.
Like, so overexcited. Probably on some White Rhino. Apologize for my actions on that one. But yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in Missouri. The power is in the people's hands.
Absolutely.
Let's fucking make a difference, guys.
No doubt.
Talk to Lyndall Fraker.
Yeah,
old Frakester.
Let's make some demands.
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it.
Hey Mike, can you
Thank
can you look up the DHSS phone number? Go to maybe I think it's medicalmarijuana.mo.gov.
Oh.
And just get us some contact information for them. In the meantime, I want to remind you.
People put it on. One of you people watching
In
it.
the meantime,
Please.
I want to
Absolutely.
remind you
We would love that.
to go to mogreenswellness.com.
Yes.
Check out what they got going. I think you guys also, if people have resumes or whatever else, first off, Michelle's going to offer help throughout January with your resume. There's one thing, but weren't you guys also gathering them for a while, helping people try to get placed?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still something
we
you're
were
interested in or
working
not.
with the app to compile all that information, but in the meantime, right now, we'll continue to help out
Cool.
people that want to get resume work.
Right on, man. Right on. Don't worry about it. We'll get it. We'll get it, guys, out there. I don't want to fucking twist your arm off. For fuck's sake.
For a fucking number.
Jesus Christ.
It's 2020 almost, for God's sake.
Go to fucking go Google it, cocksuckers. Jesus. All right. Hey, in the meantime, thanks for the love, guys. Yes, send resumes to info@mogreenswellness.com. Thanks, Michelle. It's almost like I'm not in a fucking vacuum here talking to myself. All right, we do have...
Shall we ignore Craig? Join the joke. God dang it.
I'm on White Rhino and had trouble finding this show.
Man, Mike gets it.
You're lucky, Mike.
That's because we went live 11 times at the beginning.
We're going to...
Contact number 866-219-0165.
You see what an intern does, Mike? Do you see what a producer does?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't fucking do it. So
866-219-0165. Call DHSS.
Yep.
Tell them you're a
medical
patient.
marijuana info at health.mo.gov.
There you go.
Put it out there, guys.
Let's do it, baby.
They made it real easy for you. Yep. Medical marijuana info at health.mo.gov.
Makes sense.
It's what it is, guys. Just in case you couldn't figure it out, we got a couple more voicemails. You guys want to hear them?
Yes. Good. And we're going to come back with
Weatherman Mike.
Weatherman Mike, everyone's favorite part of the show. And then we'll wrap up this year, guys. We got to wrap up the year.
We got to wrap up the goddamn year.
We'll sit here and say nice things about each other.
I like it. That's one of my favorite things. Yeah. All right.
That's how we began the show. Remember with that stupid thing we did where we were just opening, we were saying nice things to each other? Remember that?
I do. That was a great open. Everyone was like, wow, that was really sweet. Good, because it was all a facade.
Fuck this guy.
All right, guys. Here's some more voicemails for you.
Yes, this is Honorable Gabriel T. Adhouse, former youth minister at the First Church of the Holy Browbeater. I had previously called today to praise the work of Dr. Daniel Slinger and the diversity and the openness that it brings to the community. Unfortunately, I found out some horrible information today, and I have been informed there are several videos available on the internet depicting exactly the activities that result from the use of marijuana and mushrooms and the acids that Dr. Slinger describes, and I'm very upset. I have been monitoring these videos for the community and children because somebody needs to know what is out there and what can happen if these substances are used. I just want to make sure Dr. Slinger gets a message that this is out there. These videos of these men with veiny, throbbing, silky penises, I'm just so upset by it. If Dr. Slinger would like to stop by the First Church of the Holy Browbeater and maybe he can address some of the children in the church at some point, he is more than welcome. But I'm very upset about this, and I feel that this warrants him explaining again the dangers of these horrible, horrible satanic substances. Thank you very much.
Hello, this is Raymond Papsmeyer. I'm the youth director at the First Church of the Holy Browbeater. I'm calling to reach Daniel Slinger. Unfortunately, after an incident today in a youth service, I became aware there was an invitation extended by Mr. Gabriel Avhouse. After, unfortunately, the service was apparently showing several minutes of hardcore pornography. Regretfully inform Mr. Slinger, we must rescind this invitation. In fact, the invitation was approved by the church as we sabotaged with Miss Asshouse several years ago. As I'm aware of these developments, I will monitor these evil videos as they become available to foster awareness within the community so that we know the evils that lurk. And God bless, and have a fine evening.
Hey, you Hoosiers, how y'all doing? Am I on?
You're on, baby.
Hey, it is Monday, the 30th. Am I good?
You're great.
All right. We're fucking great. So we got some clouds early, clearing later, 0% precipitation. We got a low of 30. We got some 15 to 25 mile per hour winds coming out of the west. I'm gonna bump it up to about 30 to 40. All right. Higher wind gust possible. See? I fucking called it. All right. So Tuesday, the 31st, partly cloudy. Okay, we got a high of 41. It's going to be a little chilly. Got some of them winds again, 10 to 20. I'm going to bump it up again. I'm going to go 30 to 40. All right. High of 41. Yeah, I already said that. Low of 21. Partly cloudy tomorrow night. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy with a low of 28. We have a 10% chance of precipitation. We have some clouds early that will give way generally. Clear conditions overnight. Clear conditions overnight. I don't fucking know. You know, I can't. Low of 28, 5-10 mile an hour winds. I'm going to bump it up 15 to 20. We got Wednesday, the 1st. Oh, yeah, I forgot. The 31st. It's New Year's Eve. So y'all got a party coming up. I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm so sorry. I got family plans. I really don't have anywhere for my kid to go. That's all. All right, so New Year's Day, the 1st, Wednesday. It's going to be a high of 53. We got sunny, no clouds. We got winds coming in at the south-southwest, though, so it's like 10 to 15. Like I said, I'm going to bump it up to 20 to 30. That's going to really make it feel like it's probably like 38 degrees because, you know, that wind chill shit. You know, I'll figure it out one of these days. We got a low of 40 that night. Mostly cloudy with winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. You know, I'm going to ramp that shit up again. Thursday, the 2nd, we got a high of 50. We got some rains coming in. They're calling for about 45 to 50% chance. I'm going to bump it up to 70. I'm going to say there's a 70% chance of rain. We got some, let's see, high of 50, some winds, you know, 20 to 30 miles per hour. We got about a quarter inch of rain that's going to land Thursday night. More rain. More rain. Low of 46. Yeah, you know about the clouds and the wind, you know, all that shit. Friday, yeah, it's rain. High of 53, low of 30. You know, it's going to be pretty shitty. So Saturday, we got a high of 37, mostly cloudy. There's going to be some sun, you know, here and there. So we got 10 to 20 mile an hour winds, clear to partly cloudy that night. We got a low of 26. So some more winds, and yeah, that's my forecast for the week because, you know, I don't give you shit for Sunday. That's my fucking day, motherfuckers. Have a great night, and I love y'all.
Okay, Weatherman Mike, do me a favor and kick those goddamn chairs out of the way. Hear this, boy.
Alright, this is the fucking. Just leave these be.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that hurts.
Oh! Uh-oh. Yeah.
Boy.
As a gay college student lay hospitalized in critical condition after a severe beating, this small city, which bills itself as Wyoming's hometown, wrestled with its attitudes towards gay men.
My fault. My fault again.
You think
That one was on me.
think he would think he could learn?
You'd think he would do that. I was just so goddamn excited.
Now he's peeking low. Wow, this guy can't.
Welcome.
Jenny's getting ready to come down.
I know she's coming. She's like, I can't hear.
I love you.
I can't hear. Thank you, Jenny.
Guys, what a year!
What a year it's been.
Like I couldn't think about spending it with better people than the people I have around me right now. For
Buddy,
real. Like,
no doubt.
and we're gonna have an event at the Spam Society where we can all get to know each other even that much better.
No
I
doubt.
can't wait for that. That's gonna be on New Year's Eve.
Tomorrow night.
$20 get you in the door and whatever you want, pretty much.
Cheap domestics. There's going to be some food to eat, appetizers,
$5
champagne.
ketamine shots. $10 you call it DMT.
You call it DMT. Give me the rail DMT.
I know.
Give me the DMT off the rail. You sure you want that, dude? Like,
sure, they're scooping it off the bottom of the other shit. Like, yeah, okay, you can
they're
have this.
scooping it out of the brain of a rat. You asked for the rail, bro. It's going to be a blast.
Awesome.
And one of the things is, on top of wanting to ring the new year in with this awesome community, because the community has grown, buddy, has it grown by leaps and bounds. It's almost doubled in size. The following on the page is more than doubled in size.
Yes.
We've reached well over 1 million people this year, which is
huge impact,
fucking
fellas. Wow.
awesome. It's awesome. It feels good. And every day, I stumbled upon analytics for the fan page today. Like, we're talking about like 2,000 posts a week. You know, it's a place where the whole community gathers. And we did New Year's Eve last year. It was a blast. Do it this year, and you know, there's a lot of Roaring 20 parties. But man, we're just gonna rock it in our pajamas and be a place where people can come party all night and not have to worry about getting a cab or an Uber during peak hours or have to drive home. Bring your sleeping gear, bring your tent, bring your $20 admission. Get out there. There's going to be, like I said, there's going to be some appetizers, cheap drinks, and karaoke, and just fun. Just fun with this awesome group. It's going to be a fucking wholesome, awesome time. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe not so wholesome.
This group
It's a little bit of
has
fisting, but
allowed me to live my dreams this year.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
You know, we've had some amazing moments, and from the people who are on there posting all the time, like, we need you. We need that. We love you so much for participating, doing what you do. To the people who just sometimes chime in with something that's amazing. Your place is needed and necessary as well. To the people who are just lurking, you wouldn't believe how many people come up to me in real world and go, "Hey man, I've been lurking on the page." Like, ask me a question about either like CBD or something.
that was one of the things that really messed with me was, you know, it looks a certain way, but then when we had a few people from, even in Kansas City, they're like, "Man, we want to follow your page. What is it?" And we tell it to them, and they're like, "It's my favorite place on Facebook. I'm there every day." I'm like, "I've never seen you before." You know, people are like, "Oh, we're paying." It made me realize that our reach is a lot more than just who is always actively engaged, which is it's awesome, man.
Well, you brought up Kansas City. We've had some magical moments this year. You're getting ready to have a magical moment, I guess, next year. You couldn't have had that baby this year and fill out another thing. Insurance deal. Aren't people trying to have their babies at the end of the year?
I don't know. Is that the play?
I've been very
Hey, Michelle, poop that baby out. I don't know how girls do it. I'm not trying to be a science guy. I'm not
a science guy. I'm not a science guy. I'm a laughing guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's just have the baby. I'm ready.
I'll make that baby laugh when it gets here.
Absolutely.
Or run in fear.
It's been fantastic. I was lucky enough to be able to come back home and meet just so many
For
really
sure,
amazing
man.
people.
You made a big move back
it's awesome. It's
dude, 2020 is going to be.
we want to
even
do the
bigger
right
for
thing
you.
for everybody here. Yeah, it's gonna be Missouri's year in the cannabis industry. Let's make our fucking mark and let's keep working together and help heal the nations.
Oh man, like we went to Kansas City and getting to go to these events and hang out with people such as yourself. Some of the greatest moments I've had of my life have happened this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Buddy.
That is, yes.
Being able to go on some of the trips, we went to Kansas City with Zach's dad. I'm not.
You mean Michigan?
Oh, Michigan. We went to Michigan,
buddy.
I wouldn't even. Michigan was the most.
It was when, for me, it was when things that I've read, philosophies that I've bought into, actually
came together.
Actually paid, where it was like you put yourself in a position to be around the people that you think are changing the world, and before you know it, you get to be a part of their conversation.
You get to see their dick.
And you get to see their dick. But
he showed us a picture on his laptop, and his penis was out, and he's with this wolf, and he's got a huge mouth. I'm like, did we just see his dick? And he's like,
actually,
yeah,
it was funny.
Yeah,
it was funny because I didn't see his dick.
I did.
And Steve was like, "You see his dick?" And I'm like, "I was looking at the fucking wolf, Steve. I was looking at the wolf.
I was.
We seen his member.
He's running wild with the wolves. That was one of the most impactful moments we'll probably ever have. When we tell the story of this, when you people are all part of this story later, when they're making a National Lampoon's movie, that's what I want. When they're making that Trey Parker, Matt Stone documentary, when they're talking about the old comedians and the guys doing shit, when they tell those tales, hopefully we'll have some sort of blurb in there where we were all fucking part of this, man. We were all pulling in the right direction. We got so many dumb clips of ass tattoos and fucking blowing water into your butt. Like, we got all, I'm sure you got some shit out there too. But, you know, like,
he's about to
bringing it
you
together.
can subscribe to it.
That's it.
At MoGreensWellness.com.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna be
no
great.
doubt, man. So that and the Kansas City trip, having Mike come on board.
And I just want to talk about the kerning of the letters in this logo. The kerning. If you guys know what the kerning is, the kerning is how the font is turned.
I had very little to do with
and
the logo.
I want to say that Michelle designed a hell of a logo.
That's one of the best logos.
I know. I agree.
In Missouri, in the USA,
in the
right
game.
Now. He
I
showed me that,
helped,
and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Dude.
I know that's just the one color version. The watercolor version will blow your fucking shits off. It's so awesome.
I love it. The tablecloth is fucking phenomenal. I want to do some hoodies, guys.
It reminds me of the Frog and Toad books. Remember those elegant children's books where the pictures bled out?
Very Shel Silverstein.
Dude, it is so cool, dude.
Okay,
We're doing big things. We're doing huge things. 2019 has been an amazing year. All the trips we took. The Kitty song. Nenzi coming up. He wrote our open intro song too. The talent pool that we have in the group. The voicemails we've been hearing tonight. You fuckers are the stars.
No doubt.
Believe in yourselves, because the only thing defeating you right now is your own doubt and fear. We'll tell you if you're shitty, and then just keep trying. Like, that's what I've been told. I'm shitty a million times.
Yeah.
Let's all make each other better.
The
by trying new
voicemails.
shit.
There's a star in the voicemails. I'm not even going to out him because he's got such. That's part of the fun of being a contributor to a radio show or whatever, is to kind of be in the shadows and not be known for whatever you're. But I will say that what was the guy's name? Raymond Papsmear something T.
Oh God!
Keep it up, friend. You do that, and Daniel Slinger will pay you a visit personally, sir.
Oh, no doubt. I was
fucking tremendous. And we had just everybody that called in. We've still got some more. We'll get on there. We've got one more to play tonight. But Steve, I know we kind of touched on it. Do you have a favorite moment?
My favorite.
What kind of sucks is I think our two favorite moments are probably not ones that we can.
Yeah, I think I've
divulge.
told the dick joke with Shane Moss. I got to meet him, and he told a joke where he had this dumb ass podcast. He's so intelligent, and his new podcast make people better.
Yeah.
But with knowledge.
It's science. Yeah.
Him and his buddy Dave Waite would just do this thing called riffing, where they would just
the riff board,
do the stupidest shit, and they would just say the stupidest things, and I thought I would cry laughing from it. Added no value to really anything, but I got.
It was just two guys working goofs, man.
Yeah, so two comedians working, and he had this joke where he would always, he'd either be a concierge or he'd call on the phone, and the bit was always like, "Oh, what was that?" And he'd be like, "It's my dick." Like, you would always lead him into saying that.
It's just funny.
So I went to the bathroom and I didn't say that joke because I was in there with him. Craig's like, "You missed it, man. You missed that joke."
I said you missed the fucking joke.
I did a squeege joke. It's a different joke from the thing, but I did. I missed my joke. And so anyway, we got to hang out later with him, and it's kind of like a quiet moment. And he knocks on the table, and we look around, and he knocks again. And I'm like, "What's going on?" And I catch eyes with him. And I go, "Who is it?" And he goes, "It's my dick." And I was like, "Oh, my favorite comedian did my favorite joke."
Nice.
Sue me.
I was definitely going to say the time we got to spend with Shane, not as fans, but as kind of new friends, and having drinks and being able to sitting with all of the researchers in the world that are doing all of the big psychedelic research. Johns Hopkins, Imperial College in London,
dude, seeing you do your thing.
grad students, at the University of Michigan, dude.
Awesome. Craig was in his element with that. It was.
I felt fucking great, man. And it was especially because my interview with Dr. Matthew Johnson
was the funniest shit about
that was basically my Jason Biggs with Shannon Elizabeth moment where like Matthew Johnson touched my leg and I came in my pants before I could ask him a fucking question. Yeah, go and get a timestamp on that. Right at 2 hours.
He said he had a 9-part question for him.
I'm like, okay, so if you do this and then if it comes down to that, well then what do you think of this if this is what happens and that if it did that? And he's like,
I'll take.
He's like, I'm gonna try and answer all of those in the order you asked me, but please forgive me if my brain doesn't go. And I'm like, I know it's a really long question. It's just really cool. This is fucking awesome. Awesome talking to you. I fucking love you, man.
Cotillion and Powwow were huge this year.
Cotillion and Powwow.
Nemu
Danny
awesome.
Nemu was amazing. And then I gotta tell you, Rick Doblin giving us the time. I mean, these are the obvious ones, right? Giving us the time was the dream come true.
To the airport.
Giving us the time was the dream come true. The ride to the airport was my favorite 30 minutes of the year. I had a better 48 minutes in September, but 30 minutes on the way to the airport with fucking Rick Doblin, who to me is just doing the fucking face for who's doing the most important fucking work in the world, and it was just him against the government for the longest time, and now we're in stage 3 of MDMA assisted psychotherapy, FDA trials, and this fucking started in 1982. He's been doing it since 1982. And
he's been fighting the good fight for a long time.
And that's something like that gives me courage, right? Like it gives me courage and it gives me hope for even when it feels like we're hitting, hurdles, with the medical cannabis program here. I can still kind of say with confidence that, their stick-to-itiveness is rewarded.
Yep.
Courage is rewarded.
Yep.
You just have to you just have to stand up. You just have to stand up and be fucking bold and do it. And 2019 was full of those moments. Cotillion, we got 54 people out to our camping trip in July. And
to compound those two, we would ask all these people, what can we do? What can we do? That's what we want to know. We want to tell people what can we all do together? How can we row in the same direction? They said make a community. Spread the fucking good word and let people fucking figure shit out. If they want it, fine. If they don't, fine. You're just out there giving them the information.
Be a place where information can be shared freely and people can be what they are. And Cotillion became a physical extension of the page. And then following it up with Powwow and getting another 30 people out there for Powwow. And then being able to share that with Rick Doblin and to see him look at the two of us with pride it was a fucking moment for me, man. He was so happy to hear that these kids who were inspired by what he was doing in a roundabout way, in a tangential way, whatever, not even a tangential way. When I found out that there were after a very profound one of my most recent psychedelic mushroom experiences 10 years ago, I then found MAPS and I read about MAPS and I'm like, holy shit, there are big time people. MAPS has raised $75 million to do all of this, and we're seeing psilocybin use getting people to quit smoking, healing depression. MDMA is healing PTSD. Ayahuasca is healing PTSD. We almost forgot because it's been almost a full year, but a year ago we filled the Tivoli Theater with firefighters and soldiers and police officers and first responders, and we sat the whole fucking room down and they watched hardened combat Iraq veterans. It was in January of 2019. Wow. We sat everybody at the Tivoli Theater. We packed the joint, and they saw fucking 2 combat veterans and their wives who were also basically fighting this fight alongside them. Help treat their PTSD with ayahuasca. And the conversations, we had a conversation with 5 women, 50 to 70 years old.
I was going to say that was probably right there in the top 3 moments.
The gal asks what do you guys know about Ibogaine? She's just worried about her grandson who's got an opiate addiction. And this gal comes to our movie. It doesn't even talk about Ibogaine or Iboga the entire time. And so I'm like, holy shit, it really is turning on. We can really be this group, this place where people can talk about this. This was just a grandma that wanted to fucking help her grandson, and if she's found out about Iboga, she's been combing the internet looking for a fix, and she made the time to come out there. And like I said, like even hearing the firefighters, holy shit, I didn't even know that was amazing. And to try and tear that stigma down. A lot of first responders, a lot of police officers, they've been throwing people in cages for these substances.
They get left behind.
And
when it
by
comes to
God,
that
yeah,
shit.
like they're stigmatized as the them in the us versus them scenario.
Right. Totally.
But then they see some of the fucking worst shit you could possibly see day in and day out. They suffer from
In
trauma
their
that we can all only hope to never see, dead bodies and fucking all of the horrendous things that they may see. And then when we talk about alternative ways to heal these people who have chosen to serve and protect the community, we can't even talk about the thing that is most likely to fucking help them because we're throwing people in cages for it. So anyway, 2019 gave us all kinds of opportunities to actually put people who may have otherwise been on the other side of the fence, philosophically, put them in positions where they could actually see what it's doing. And I think that, as long as we can continue on that trajectory and as long as people can log into the Sophisticated Hoosiers every day and share laughs and talk about what's going on with the Missouri Cannabis Program and talk about how psychedelics are helping heal, sharing articles, sharing art, having open sexual conversations, trying to release that taboo. And it's just a fucking nice little evolution that's happening, and as long as we can keep cultivating a space for that to happen, 2020 is going to be a fucking banger.
Thanks for doing that, guys.
That's
huge.
Let's not judge each other 2020 and see what the fuck happens.
No doubt.
Like,
2020 vision's dope.
Hell yeah.
Let people be fucking people, man. Mike, what do you got over there? What was your favorite part of the year? You got any special moments?
I would have to say I have a couple. Realizing that my son is growing up right before my eyes, like him being 10, I am just so enthralled with how he just questions everything. He's been doing it since he was like 6, but being 10, he really wants to do stuff with me in the garage or go work on something, build something, destroy something.
It's great, man. Make the time for it.
Yeah. And
I saw you guys sword fighting. He sent me a video because he was supposed to have videos for the open.
They were crossing streams. That kind of sword fighting.
His son. Never mind.
But he's got these little plates.
Mike was whacking the shit out of him.
He's just beating hell out of your kid.
Hey, he plays jiu-jitsu.
Nice. I got an idea for that. Let's take that video with this little thing. We can make little lightsaber noises. We'll make the whole little video. He'll flip on.
You can't do it because Mike, you'd have to go.
Oh, because Mike beat the shit out of his. It's like fucking Bruce Lee with nunchucks.
It would just be like a jackpot register.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's going to learn. Sound effects for that one to slow it down.
Hey, I know we did kind of our picks for the year. Do you have a stream pick this week? Do you want to do a stream pick?
Yeah.
I wasn't done.
Yeah, I know.
That's please keep going.
Oh, yeah. So the other thing was introducing.
You don't care.
Well,
I don't care.
Guys, the Hoosier Sophisticated. I thank you. But this is amazing, and then introducing my wife back into this little thing has just been. I'm very appreciative of what y'all have done.
One of another great moment.
Well, that's kind of awkward that you cut him off right before he was about to say just like the kindest shit.
Yeah, whatever.
Funny on that one.
I was actually going to say to build on what Joanne, about with your lovely wife coming to Cotillion. There was a moment where even Steve Powwow. I'm sorry, Steve looked at me and he's like, she fucking wants to know what the hell she has gotten herself into.
No. I walked up behind her talking to Mike, and she didn't know I was coming up, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And right before I got to her, she goes, what the hell have you gotten me? And I was like, ah! I was right up behind her like, ah!
That GIF, that GIF with the squirrel and is it the bunny and the fox?
Yes.
So the fox is Steve-O and Joanna is my wife.
That's
the rat
fucking hilarious.
That's
hilarious.
That same night.
She fit in like a fucking glove, man. She was out there. She started singing some classic rock, and I was like, "All right, this is my roll dog right
I'm
here."
excited about Cotillion though.
Good.
She
Everybody
can
should be excited
fucking
about the
sing.
team.
Yes, I did watch something recently.
Well, do we want to do the thing?
Oh yeah. Oh.
It's the streaming picks of the week. It's the streaming picks of the week. And Hulu. It's the streaming picks of the week. We like the internet too. What'd you watch this week, Steve-O?
I went on a classic binge, okay? I went on a straight classic binge. Had a lot of time with the family here. I did finish up Watchmen. I liked it. I hated it at first. I finished it up. I loved it. I also forgot to mention two of the greatest series. One wrapped up this year, Silicon Valley.
I can't wait to watch it.
The
I will
whole
get
thing
it. Yep.
again. Watch the whole thing again.
Oh, I will.
It's worth it. It's
I will.
So
I
good.
thought that the first 2 seasons were the funniest TV
Buddy.
that's ever been written.
And people shit on the last season. I still loved it, dude. It's about like these. Have you seen Silicon
No,
Valley?
nope.
Oh, it's fucking.
It's a really smart show.
It's brilliant. It's Mike Judge.
Mike Judge, yeah. But it's about
Um,
guys that are writing these apps or this website or whatever.
They
internet
create
tech
the new
company.
internet, and it's
Tech
this
company.
whole. It's all the
Okay,
tech world.
okay.
It's the tech world.
It's
fucking
absolutely
great.
hilarious.
And
Look
Righteous
into the
Gems.
future.
Righteous Gemstones with Danny McBride.
Man,
Was
so
a great
good.
Show.
Man, so good.
Those came out. So I did. The kids and I did the whole Christmas movie deal for a little while. I did recently watch Men in Black, the newest one, and I thought that was pretty good. But I'm gonna throw it back. I got a free subscription to Stars on Amazon Prime.
Nice.
And Sex Drive is on there, and I'm sure you can find that movie elsewhere.
Wait, the movie? Is this the one where he borrows his brother's car?
Borrows his brother's
Oh,
GTO
fuck, that
Judge.
movie was funny as shit. I
It
forgot all about that.
holds up. I rewatched it, and
Like James Marsden, I think, is the brother.
James Marsden's character in that movie is. It's spoiler alert right here, but you remember that at the end, the whole time he's like calling the F word. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Calling him homo and just the worst.
He's an
stuff.
asshole older brother,
Yes, he's
just-
an older brother. He's the epitome of the worst guy ever, and he's gay. At the end, he comes in. He's like, "Hey, it's my boyfriend Rick." And like,
Isn't that how it usually works?
And James Marsden is such
Yeah.
a good character that it's like, oh, he hit the nail on the head. And a lot of those movies don't hold up. A lot of those
I agree.
campy ones.
Euro
it's
trips
like,
and
oh,
the
whatever.
road trips and
that's what made
they
me
still-
think
yeah.
of it. You were talking about that not too long ago. So Sex Drive, I'm sure you can find it on a lot of places, but if it ever pops up, it's worth your hour and a half or whatever, just
Nice.
for a few good laughs.
Nice. Right on. Watching anything, George? Anything at all?
No, not currently. Just kind of getting geared up for this baby. So
fuck yeah. Oh, that's
So a lot of Baby Einstein and
Oh, yeah,
the
you know,
fucking-
watching some
what else the
videos
kids
and
little
kind of
daddy baby shark.
Yep, getting used to the
Oh God,
the hypno babies that we're gonna have
Nice.
a home birth. So it's gonna be
Dude, that's great.
Yeah,
I'm glad
yeah.
to hear that.
Yeah,
Good
it's
for
gonna
you.
be exciting,
Good for you, man.
Home birth?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Home boy, home birth, hey,
Right-
home
right
baby,
there in the
home
living
baby.
room. Yeah.
How does that work?
Mike,
Just
We're
like
gonna
it does
find
in a
out.
hospital?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hopefully without any interventions and everything's good.
Fuck
and we
yeah,
can just
man.
be
Without
comfortable.
Western medicine, how are we supposed
Yeah.
to do anything
What do
in
we do?
civilization?
How do we
I
birth
don't
babies?
know.
Yes.
I don't know. We never did it before.
Mikey, you watching anything, brother?
Actually, I got a couple shows I watched this year. Was Big Mouth as one
Oh,
of
that
the
was great.
cartoons, and Bojack Horseman.
Oh yeah.
Bojack Horseman
It's a
is
great
one
dark
that I
comedy.
really want to get into. Everybody that I've talked to said, you love it, but it's dark.
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
It's dark.
I'm talking to Mike, if you can't tell.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's down there. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you looking at?
Hamilton's
Right on, man.
Pharmacopoeia. I watched a couple of those. That's fucking crazy.
I saw that he was asking today. That is fucking
Yeah.
tremendous. I think it's on Hulu, right? You can get it on
Yeah,
Hulu.
yep, it's on Hulu.
Yeah, he just tweeted out today. He's looking for somebody who is a nitrous oxide addicted to nitrous oxide, or whether into sucking out of balloons. They call them looners. So if anybody if you're having that, you might look up Hamilton Morris on
That's tough.
on Twitter, because I think he's probably gonna have a show special on it. But he's phenomenal, dude. He's so great. I went down the Prime, got on Prime a little bit ago, and I watched a documentary called Between the Folds, and it's all about like origami and folding paper, and it's like about these scientists.
They're gonna say fat people.
These scientists and artists and engineers, they're like quitting their jobs to fold paper, and the scientific and mathematic applications that they are pulling off with this shit. And these people are showing all of these crazy folds. You've never seen... Dude, I'm watching this for like an hour and 30 minutes, and it is one of the most insane fucking things you've ever seen. Like what they're folding, they'll fold people into I mean, I should have had a couple of fucking stills pulled up here. They got should have had a fucking deal there. But they've got like some of them are they're like moving and they change into these different origami shapes. What they draw out geometrically to fold, it's fucking insane. And this one guy, he's a 20-year-old MIT professor, and he's figured out that with his folding, he thinks that they can start folding proteins with these different things to send them in, and so that they would attack cells where because that's basically what happens, like with immune disorders and things like that. Like the proteins get folded the wrong way, and so he's like, we think if we can get it done. He goes, the problem is that they're so small, we can't see it happen in real time.
Origami?
Dude.
Nice.
It's fucking so cool. It's a PBS documentary that's on Amazon Prime, and it is the fucking shit, dude. It's so cool. Between the Folds, it's awesome.
Okay, I love it, man.
And like yeah, it's just, I mean, there's artistic guys, there's guys doing it for math, applications, science applications, and after watching that, they give you the suggestive ones. And one of the first ones that came up was American Masters Eero Saarinen.
Oh yeah,
the guy that made the arch.
Telling me about that.
And
badass.
And dude, I had no idea the architectural body of work that he's had, from Yale's hockey arena to MIT's chapel to a whole set of colleges at Yale. He did one person's house, super like modern contemporary architect.
Finland?
Yeah, he was Finnish. Yeah, for sure. So, and that was what was cool. I thought you would appreciate it. Like he sent out like a team. He's like, all right, go find the best looking hockey arenas, and they all come back and they're like, they're all
same.
they're all barns.
Oh, they made them all the same.
They're all
Just
barns
so you
with
know.
ice in the middle.
Yeah.
And so like the building that he made, they used to call it the Yale Whale, but it looks like this giant fucking waving whale, like a whale coming out of water. Check out the Yale hockey arena. It's fucking awesome. Anyway,
could have had a picture of that too.
that was that's all right. That was that was kind of a second pick there. Maybe we should shout out our sponsors and wrap this thing, or what do you think, brother?
I love Eero Saarinen, and I love the whole story of that awesome part of St. Louis, the history. And Craig, I also love the passion and work you've done this year, propelling the psychedelic industry in St. Louis and in Missouri.
Man.
I feel like you have. I feel like the more people I talk to behind your back when I'm trying to talk shit to them, all they want to do is talk about how you've talked about psychedelics and how it's helped them. And I'm like, let's get back on top of it. Okay? So it's been awesome to see that. George, man, your passion every time I see you, and I don't know you that well, but every time I see you, brother, it's
thank you,
contagious.
Yes, I love it, and I
that
love
and the
beating up
syphilis.
all these amazing. Yes, hey,
But
watch out.
but your mood is even more contagious than the syphilis,
dude. I
which
love
is
it.
great.
Go to Mo Greenways and check out they just published an article. I think it should have some updates about where the case is
About the Calico case?
Yeah,
Tarcoxy
there we go.
Nursery?
MoGreenways.com.
No S, Mo Greenway, I think.
Yeah.
MoGreenway.com.
And Mike.
Yes.
I love you because the passion you've shown for just being a guy that we can kind of give shit to on the open and be willing to learn and get scolded by Craig. That's a great thing. And you really do. You have a fucking heart of gold, brother. You honestly, ever since I first met you in high school, this dude, you would just be at a party.
Always smiling.
Him
Always
and one other guy,
smiling.
J-Rob. It could be chaos at the party. There could be a fight breaking out, and they're in the corner like, Steve-O, what's up, man? Like, just, and I'm like, I
Just
love
smiling.
this dude. I
Yep.
don't know this dude that well, but holy shit, he always just
No
has
doubt.
a great presence about
No
him.
doubt.
So going on to the new year, let's tell each other we fucking, we used to play a game of things we love.
No doubt.
Fucking Seth, that was his idea.
No doubt.
And then once we stopped going to the studio, we couldn't do things I love anymore because he said, that's my deal.
Well, let's wrap
That's
up.
my thing.
Let's wrap
Thanks,
up
Eric.
the thanks on that. Seth has been with us. This is Seth's brainchild. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. And we're still going to do some work with him at the radio station. Seth's a fucking brilliant fucking
Brilliant.
weird little mind, man, that
Dude,
I
he
absolutely love. And he
Don't
has
get on his
been-
bad side.
He has been an absolute treasure and somebody that made the show better with the little fucking. Some of his photoshops are still some of the hardest I've laughed. Us fucking skydiving, all that shit. Like the things he did to produce a fun show.
The Craig moments.
Tremendous. Craig moments was hilarious.
Great, dude.
Had some fun with that for a while. And then even old Scotty Coops came in and helped us out every now and then. Made the trip all the way from Illinois. So we want to shout out to those guys. I think we'll probably see them both tomorrow night. Come on out to the Hoosier Party,
Roman
guys.
was the original, too. We
Roman
love
was the
old
original.
Romy
Rome.
Scott Coop had one of my favorite moments too. Was that was the first? That was last year when he told he was going to bang college girlfriend. When I came up this.
No, that was at Cotillion.
Oh, was it?
That was at Cotillion.
That was so good. This dude, Scott's sweating and his hair's like all in his face, and this other dude is like.
This is
little-
like after 4 hours on the river, like
Yeah,
110 degrees outside.
But yet, the one dude, Colin, is chiseled, got like a nice shirt on, looks like he stepped out of the shower or something. You're like, where are you going, clubbing or something? And he comes out, he's a great dude, like a great bro is
Yeah.
what I thought of him as. I'm
Yeah.
like, this guy's kind of bro-y a little bit, just me judging him. But then I get
But in
to know
all
him,
the
I'm
best
like, he's
ways.
the sweetest
In all the
dude
best
ever.
ways,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
He's a great dude. And they're sitting across the table from each other and kind of giving each other the eye. And I'm like, man, I just imagine in your world, like the worst case scenario is you find your girlfriend with this guy over here, like, and he's just sweaty on top of you. And as I'm laying this out, Scott is smoking a cigarette, just dead eyeing him from across the table. He don't even know this guy from fucking Adam. It was so awesome.
He was in on the. He was in on the play.
It was, dude. It was so cool.
Yeah, as long as we're things. We're gonna go ahead and get things I love started. There's all kinds of stuff that I love, man. I love that I said yes to a lot of experiences. But
That
one
movie,
thing,
Yes Man, really got to you.
dude, it really did. Years and years ago, but it's
Years
starting to come through. But even like I said, it feels like wrapping up the year. I'm finally getting the message that to get my body in line with kind of all the mind work that I've done this year.
Who told you that? The mirror?
You did, I think. You're looking kind of tight.
You blowing your knee out may have been my favorite part.
Oh yeah, I fucking forgot about that. Thanks for that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was palsy one year, it was fucking knee this year. You know, actually, I will say the thing that I love is knowing the play, brother. And there's been so many times where you and I are out and we're just telling jokes for us that only us are gonna get. It's my favorite shit to tell a joke that only you get the fucking punchline to. It's something that we've had for a long time. But then seeing you in those moments with Shane, the first time you made Shane laugh, I'm like, I knew that you fucking couldn't help but fucking hide your erection because you made the funny man. And like as soon as it happened, and I heard before I even saw Steve, like as soon as it happened, and I saw and Shane gave him the laugh. As soon as it happened, like I was like, oh, before I even looked at Steve, I was like, oh, he's gonna fucking get off. I'm never gonna get him to shut the fuck up. You know? And sure enough, man, we had a bunch of those moments, and I love that we're kind of just getting in fucking lockstep, brother.
Yeah, I love it too.
Good
man.
shit.
It's cool.
Awesome, guys. Congratulations.
Are you gonna say anything nice about any of these guys?
No, I fucking hate these guys. No, actually, I got an opportunity to get to know. That's what's kind of interesting. Like, I didn't even. It seems like we just passed. The bill. And that was kind of when I was starting to meet you guys. I guess we met actually in March at the big MoCan BizCon.
Yeah.
And had a chance to sit down with you, talk to you, got to know you a little bit better, then working alongside you guys, working on your logo, getting your merch and stuff together. I feel like Steve and I really have had our pick of the litter as far as who's the best people to be associated with in this industry, and it's you guys are fucking right at the top of the list, man. And then like having you and Michelle and having Josh and Jennifer. He's like, I don't need to be validated by you fucking Hoosiers in a basement.
I'm so blessed.
I know you are, man. And you're a humble dude. Listening to you on Adam Meredith's podcast, it was one of my favorite weed talks just because
that
of
guy's awesome.
Yeah,
It was great.
You were so well informed. I was actually driving back from Springfield listening to that, and it was just a great use of an hour. I felt smarter after having done it. And Mikey, buddy, yeah, you were willing to be everything that Steve and I have told ourselves that we've needed to be successful. And I think since getting you, the quality of our content is fucking taking off. We've got somebody to get the shot, somebody that's willing to put themselves in the fucking middle with it and attach their name to a couple guys that are definitely going to blow this thing by opening their fucking big fat mouths one of these times. Is going to fuck this whole thing up.
Just waiting for it.
So it's just we're a ticking time bomb.
Didn't we meet Michelle too first?
Yeah, we actually met Michelle at
Project
Project 422 conference.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, at the Missouri Medical Cannabis Conference.
Didn't she have the shirt on? I think it said like it had a whole message on it. Then we saw her at our old sponsor.
Oh yeah, at Parlor.
Yeah, I think that's where.
Yeah, for sure.
That may have been the first time I saw her.
Wait a minute, was this?
Because she had she was all dialed up in the weed stuff. I'm like,
it was Parlor this year. It was.
Was it?
That was a great day.
Yeah, that was.
We brought out 15 Hoosiers to Parlor. To Parlor and then to Tower Classic Tattoo. We had 15 people get tattooed.
Oh, nice.
I got the logo on my arm.
That was like January, February.
It was February. Yeah, holy shit, man! I can't believe how much stuff we crammed
Look
into
how much
this
you
year.
crammed into the year, guys.
No doubt. Let's just keep doing it. And that was a great day for them.
Yep.
Fuck, man! Those 15 people came in and got tattooed. That's a pretty good day, pretty good Sunday for a tattoo shop.
And
we had a blast, man.
And Michelle's wonderful, and Missy and Jen, like, fuck.
Can't
Jen,
say
you
enough.
let us knuckleheads yell. She helps me out in ways I can't even put into words.
We're here all the time.
Yeah, we're in the trenches together.
We're here all the time.
I couldn't want to go through this joyously painful, tumultuous, beautiful, loving, lovely, life-filled ride with my ride or die chick.
No doubt, brother. No doubt. It's fucking
blessed.
When Miss was like, oh, you guys really ought to. You pitching this idea, guys. Stay tuned because there's going to be a podcast with Steve and I and our lovely wives. And I'm fucking juiced about it because it's something that I think it's going to work perfectly. It's going to be called the Not a Cult Classic podcast, and we're going to cover like kind of those 90s films that a lot of you guys know. Maybe they're not like all this well-known cult classics, but like our wives definitely don't know. Good example. Good example was you talked about Heavyweights the other day, which is a great fucking hilarious flick that got lost in the 90s. That's a great movie. It's a totally great movie, and like so we're just gonna watch these not a cult classic movies with our wives, and then we'll have a little conversation about them. I think it'll be super fun, really nostalgic, and I'm sure that our gals will make fun of us, and people don't get to see enough of that.
Yeah,
I mean they're the leaders of this fucking thing. When we go out to Cotillion, they're the bosses. You know, like I'm fucking wandering aimlessly through the woods,
carrying 2 candles when he's
I'm a hollow
He has a fucking box for candles. He's carrying them one at a time.
I'm a hollow man.
Hollow man. That could be a jam, dude.
It's just like, no, we'll just do that at the end. We'll do that at the end.
Well, is that it, boys?
I think so. Thank you to all of you that make all of this possible. Stay tuned for stay tuned for cannabis news, and psychedelic news every week. What's going on in the Missouri area? What we can do to be better people, and then maybe after these voicemails, we'll shout out our sponsors one last time, and we'll take this thing home.
Let's just do it now. So I don't have to
all right, let's go ahead and do it. James Carlton, State Farm. He's the best fucking insurance agent to ever grace the earth. CarltonInsurance.net, 314-961-4800.
He's willing to take a chance on us, dude.
He took a chance on. He was the first person to take a chance on us. He was a happy sponsor all along. And guys, just give him a shot at your business. He's saving me money, and I am better covered than I've ever been. And he even told me, like, when I had like a little bit too extra, like he's just willing to have the conversation. Now I got a disability plan that doesn't cost me but a couple of bucks a month. Like, and I'm still paying less than where I was at. Steve, you got in an accident?
I didn't.
Well, okay.
We did.
Yes, you see, you're. But how's that been with James Carlton?
Amazing.
I just
called him up just to talk to him about it. Because he's just like, yeah, I'll tell you about it. I'm like, how does insurance work, James? Like he's just that sweet.
Can you tell me about insurance, Papa?
Yeah, exactly. It's our next commercial. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Please, sir, may I have some more?
Yeah, some insurance, please. So it's been a breeze, man.
Awesome. CBD Canvas Boutique and Dispensary. their locations, they feel good to go into. Tiffany Jones is
I need to see her.
so well educated. I'm lucky enough that like her office is about 2 blocks from my office in Arnold, so I can drop in, shoot the shit. She's so knowledgeable.
They're doing big things. In the community,
They're giving back to the community. Their products are fucking top notch, and it's just a nice, clean shopping experience. It's fucking bang bang. It's fucking great, and they're part of the community. That's the whole thing. Is like you need the CBD, you need the medicine. Why not do it with friends that you make right here? Come to these events. Come to New Year's. Come to Cotillion. Come to Powwow. And then you've got a network of people. There is so much fucking talent in this group. I cannot believe the musicians, the artists, the doctors, the healers, the potential that this group carries every day. It's an amalgamation of talent and beauty and love. And you can do business with friends. And that's like the fucking best. Whenever your friends can meet a need, and you're happy about knowing that your dollar is going to help their best case life, and then Lifetime Roofing. Guys, weather's got a little wet there for a while. You see some spots in your ceiling. They do siding. They even do decks. If you need a deck done, they'll do it. They'll do whatever. Fuck, just tell them what you need.
They're doing a kitchen.
They're doing a kitchen.
A roof came through and. I mean,
like a tree came through the roof?
Yes, and they're just the other company came in and tried to handle everything like a roofing company, but Lifetime's so good that they can handle making sure that each portion that got effed by whatever happened gets taken care of.
No doubt.
They'll make sure that the other subs do what they got to do because they're putting a roof on this place. They don't want to make sure everything inside's good. They're protecting everything.
No doubt.
So they're definitely the only place to call when it comes to exterior shit because they're just good ass people running the joint and working there.
And we've had a couple just to add on to all of the awesome shit that happened in 2019. We had a few unbelievably fun nights at Truman's and Soulard.
Buddy.
I fucking love Truman's and Soulard. I love Brad Packer. I love you, sir. Okay? Your food's amazing. Your service is amazing. Your cheese curds are out of this fucking world.
We got Craig into hockey at that place.
You got me into hockey.
When you saw the towel man, we got a recording of us, and Craig's like, "Where's the towel man?" Because at Truman's they had their own towel guy.
Yes.
Who happened to reach for the camera, and immediately you're like, "Oh!"
and
he's into it.
And that guy ended up being someone your wife used to work with. Who knew you, or who found out you were cucky, or knew you were cucky, which is great. And all of the amazing experiences that we've shared with you. The biggest experience, buddy, is you got to watch Game 7 with your pop and watch him raise the cup.
Totally. Like seeing that, me and my son and my dad.
That's awesome.
And my dad has been a fan since the beginning. I've been a fan since the beginning. I don't want to live it and die with it. Like I would tell Jenny, I'm like, this is the year. And I'd be like, I don't really care though, I'd be crying, bitching, moaning. And when we won the cup, dude, I've been emotional ever since. I've been overly emotional ever since. Just seeing the city come together, it makes me remember all the nights I had. Okay, Game 3, the kids were out and we were watching it together, and I let them stay up late. Well, Game 5, I called my dad afterwards and I was like, "Hey man," and I remember Game 4, we were at Truman's and we
Game 6, we had a chance to clinch it at home. People came from all over. We had a big night out at Truman's.
Yeah.
I ate a 300 milligram cookie.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Sounded like a good.
And I got tickets to the game.
And Steve fucking scored a ticket to the game beforehand, and he's like, all of these people are here, and I'm like, get your shit and get the fuck out of here.
They're gonna fight me if I didn't.
Yeah, I did. I told him, I was like, I'm gonna punch you in your face if you don't leave.
Get the hell out of here.
So
you know what? I'll do it anyway.
Yeah, all right. Punch me then. You want some?
Dude, I'm a hockey player.
Yeah.
Great year, guys.
It was such a significant year. We had so many good times that we forget things like the Cardinals went to the National League Championship Series. They were one of the last 4 teams in baseball playing. You spoiled fucks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They were one of the best teams in the game. You spoiled cocksuckers. Strap in. Buy in. All right? Anyway, it's been a hell of a year to buy into. I'm buying in. If I'm doing anything for 2020, I'm buying the fuck in, Steve.
Me too.
All in.
Let's buy it in.
All in. All right. One for
Mike, put
one
your hand
for
up
all
there.
for one.
There you go.
There it is. All right.
Have a good year, and we'll see you next year.
What was it? I think we end it with this, don't we? Et nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen.
Hey guys, sorry about it. It's Steve again. Odd thing happened. I had friends visiting from Guatemala, and I was just wondering if you guys had any tips or anything for removing a magic bullet. From the anal cavity. Anything somebody could call in if anybody's dealt with it. It's also looking for some low-cost DIY, ideas for butt plugs, trying to do Christmas on a budget. So, thanks. Hey guys, Steve again. Sorry, I was wondering if you guys could help me out. I need to find a way to say your niece has a magic bullet in her anus in Spanish. If you guys could call back, things are really getting ugly. Thanks.
I'm into it.